listening to the
Well, good afternoon. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on wordradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. If you are hearing the sound of my voice or watching me on any social media platform via YouTube or Facebook, and I have both up on time today, Father God, I thank you. I am Andrea Lawful Sanders, and I am your host on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 1 to 4 p.m. So there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about, but the first thing I'd like to be able to address is that crazy behind thunderstorm, which I don't know what to call it. So yesterday I was in a meeting online at the state level, and in the middle of having some conversation with the commissioners, I heard this crackling noise, and my computer screen looked like it was blowing up on me, and I was like, what was that? And I took the headphones off, and I could, hi, Kim Cat, how are you? I could hear this banging, like it sounded like a train and crashing, and this was some sort of a storm going outside. By the time I left my office, walked down the steps and opened my door, it was over. But what I saw in front of me was pieces of people's roofs flying, plants destroyed, big size hail. And I'm saying to myself, what was that? It didn't last 5 minutes. Well, don't you know my electricity went out, and it was out for the rest of the day, from 3 o'clock until almost midnight last night. And I guess I was one of the fortunate ones, my husband and I and our neighbors, because there were some folks who are still waiting for their electricity to come back. I am waiting for the National Weather Service to tell me exactly what in the Sam Hill that was, because several hours after that first incident where everything was knocked out, we drove up and saw excuse me, blocks and blocks and blocks. The pharmacies were out, the gas stations were knocked out, everything was knocked out. And so we had to I just want to find out exactly what happened. People told me that their I don't even know what you call it, up in in your roof. We have one on our third floor. Their windows, the hail was so hard it broke the glass in their sky roofs. And so it's, we've been kind of trying to figure out what happened there, and everybody is concerned. We had to throw away food because we were without electricity for so long. So I'm hoping now that all of you that have come through this storm and that you're all safe and doing well. That was the first thing. The second thing I wanted to talk about, which by no means means that it was less important, is that on this day, at 5:35 a.m., I gave birth to my first egg, my very first heartbeat. He turned 29 today, and I called him on the exact time that he was born, which was 4:45 his time, and he answered the phone. And looked at me like, I was like, all I can see is your nose. It was, but I'm so proud. I wanted to share my screen for those of you who are watching on social media, but I can't seem to share it. Otherwise, I would share a picture with you for those of you who are not following me on Facebook to see a picture of my first egg. I called him son number one. He's doing incredibly well. I'm going to go visit him. And so, which leads me to the next thing that I wanted to talk about. In September, I am going to start doing segments on relationships. you know, what to look for, what are you working on in terms of working with your children, simply because I talk a lot about my husband and my sons, and had a conversation today about the fact that I wanted to do more of that. And I'm going to be discussing the different types of love there is, because I think we think of love in just one term, and there are 8 kinds, y'all. There are 8, 7, 8, it's a whole bunch of them. So there's the filial love, which is the affectionate love, you know, without romantic attraction, which is for friends and family. I have a filial love for my sons and a storage love for my sons. The pragma love is the enduring love, which is what I have with my husband, matures over many years, right? So you don't just wake up and all of a sudden you fall in love. The pragma love is the kind that takes time. You have to go through a little shiggity, you know, a few things, and grow as you're loving that person. So don't ever tell nobody you have pragma love for them when you just meet them. The storage love is the familiar love between parents and children and best friends. I understand that perfectly. The eros love, which is the passionate and primal love, which is where most people stay and where most people think they're supposed to be all the time when you're in a relationship. The eros is only a small part. You know, it's passionate, it's primal, but that's not where you are all the time. Then there's the ludus love, the playful love, childlike and flirtatious in the beginning stages of a relationship. Then there's the mania love, the kind that lots of us find ourselves getting caught up in, which is obsessive. That is not love. It leads to unwanted jealousy or possession. Then the philosia love, which is self-love, right? Having healthy self-compassion and love towards self. Something that I talk to you all about loving yourselves and doing it well. And then there's the agape love, which is selfless love, an empathetic attitude of love for everyone and anyone. So I'm going to address all of those, and then I'm going to bring on some medical experts to talk about the things that happen to us as we age. So I need you to look forward to that in September. Why am I saying September? As after next week, at the end of July, starting August 1st, I will be on the road for just about the entire month. So I will not be on the air for the month of August, but have no fear. They're going to have amazing guest hosts in my stead to cover me for the entire month. Let me tell you why. August 5th, I will be in Martha's Vineyard. I'm covering the Martha's Vineyard Film Festival, and I have been given the wonderful pleasure of doing their red carpet event there on that while the Martha's Vineyard Film Festival is happening. So I'm going to be working my tail feathers off. I'm not taking August off to go do run here, there, and everywhere. I'll be back home for 2 days. And then I'm back out again, traveling across the country, gathering vignettes and meeting people all around the United States. And then on August 26th, I'm back on a plane and I'm going out again to another place. And so this is all work. It's all work related for me. But one of the things I absolutely love to do is travel. And traveling and exposing myself and exposing others to the beauty of what is in this country we call United States of America is something that I've always wanted to do. And I have been given the opportunity to do it. So starting August 1st, after I go see my oldest son, I will be on the road. If you follow me on social media, you'll be able to grab some snippets of it, because I do some of the coverage, and you'll see some of it. The Martha's Vineyard people, Film Festival folks want me to cover some of their stuff live, and I'm going to cover some of it live for the Philadelphia Sunday Sun. But I'm looking forward to it because I get to meet filmmakers, artists, actresses, and actors from around the globe as they show up on this island. They converge on the island for these few days. I think it's about 10 days worth of filming. So I promise you that I'm going to have a lot to discuss throughout the time for that. Good afternoon to all of you. Kim Cat says, the rain was going sideways. It was so much wind. My mother's neighbor's gazebo anchors were pulled out. I'm telling you, my little taters were like, yeah, that's it. We give up the ghost. That was just too much. But a lot of people were complaining about that. All right, so I'm going to move on. I wanted to start the show there. So happy birthday to my firstborn son. We have a lot to talk about on the show today. The call-in number is 215-634-8065. I only have 2 guests today because I'm spending my time. Tiffany McIntyre says, thank God I'm friends on Facebook. I would be in withdrawal. Well, you're friends with me on Facebook, so you get to see it. Tiffany understands. Once I open up the camera and I say, good morning, America. Anything is liable to happen. It's been so much fun that folks have been asking to sponsor my travels across the country to teach people what it is like to meet folks from different walks of life. It's great stuff. It's good stuff. So I'm excited about that. The tip line for the Philadelphia Police is 215-686-8477. But again, if you want to call in, now would be the time, 215-634-8065. So I have decided today, based on something that I saw, that I am going to have the inaugural, let me read it for you because I had to laugh when I wrote it down. I said, oh, this is good stuff. The inaugural Motherly Cup of Bravery and Givers of Several Dams for elected officials who stand up for their constituents. And the inaugural one, every week I'm going to, or if it are once a month, the person that I see in Philadelphia that's standing up outside of themselves on behalf of their constituents, the person who gets the very first inaugural Motherly Cup of Bravery and Givers of Several Dams is Jamie Gauthier. I was turned into one of... I was so proud of her, I didn't know what to do with myself. Rightly or wrongly, because she's a brand new council member, it warmed my heart to see that she stood up, right, on behalf of her constituents and said, something has to be done. If we're not declaring an emergency, can we do something other than what we're doing right now in the city of Philadelphia? And it put her at odds with the mayor, but she stood her ground. And for me, you know, it's the road easier traveled is to not say anything and just kind of, you know, go along to get along. The narrower road is to step outside of yourself and say something has to happen here. So Jamie Gauthier, council member, Jamie Gauthier, you've got Motherly's Cup of Bravery and Giver of Several Dams. I'm so proud of you, honey. I just don't know what to do. So I'm going to read the article. And quite frankly, I don't know her, so I just want you to know I do not know her. Woody is early today. Hey, Woody, how are you?
I'm early today.
What's going on, sir?
You asked the question. I figured I'd let you know, but I'm just wondering, where am I going to put all this love? Because you were talking about so many ones, and I guess I'm all of them. I just put them all in one pot and wait for you to get back. You're going to be gone for a whole month? What the heck is going on? What do you think I'm going to do?
I don't know, Woody, but Woody, you need to get on.
Jones in there.
I know. You need to get on Facebook, Woody, and follow me.
Look, I don't want to.
You're going to have to.
Georgie Wood said, I want to see your face.
Yes.
Face. He used to say that all the time.
But look, Woody.
I want to see your face, not on the screen, but in the place. And you're going to be everywhere else but Philadelphia.
Woody,
so
absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Well, you're right about that. But if mine gets any fonder, I don't know what's going to happen here. It's not good.
I know. I figured I would start to give you guys a little bit of a leeway, but they do. They have some fabulous guest hosts coming in my stead, so they'll be there.
Well, but they're not you. I told you I want to see your face, not theirs. I mean, I'll put up with whatever I got to do, but you're good for the community, and people really appreciate you in more ways than you know. So, you know, for a lot of the mothers that are gone, you know, you replace a lot of that, you see.
Yeah.
And I loved my mother so much, I can't even explain it. I mean, I could just feel it still.
Yeah.
And I loved her just that much. She's the reason why I appreciate women, because we all came from them to get here. And I just appreciate you more ways than you know, young lady.
So, you know, Woody, I'm going to miss you guys too, but I'm bringing back a wealth of information for you. I'm bringing back a better Andrea. You know, the thing that is easy to do is to sit in this chair and have a radio show day after day and talk about the same dry things day after day after day. When I expand my horizons, I can come back and sit in this chair and have an amazing cadre of a plethora of good things to share with all of you.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I understand.
I love you all.
I understand that. This is my month for my birth. And one of the things that I'm thinking about right now is thinking that this could not be your month because you're a traveling woman.
Yes, I am.
You got to move. You got to get on up off that thing.
I do. I can't sit still and do absolutely nothing.
I already know how you are, but I want you to remember in all your travels, I'm telling you about this summer school thing again, and I need to possibly talk with your husband while you're gone. Maybe it's the way he can give me a call, and I'm right here.
So I did. So Woody, I did talk to him about it. He has one more week of STEM camp that he has to teach, and then he's going to come to your shop.
Very good.
Coming.
Very
He's
good.
coming. Let me tell you, my husband and I are people of our word, right? So he's going to come to your shop. So if nothing else, is to have the conversation about what we do for the following summer, because the violence is here.
Yeah.
And my husband is a brilliant man who really wants to teach young children how to find the love of STEM. I want to teach them how to love to read, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
how to critically think. And there are plenty of other people around that would be willing to help us to do this. So we're coming. We're coming.
Let me tell you this. I am one of those kids that graduated high school with a diploma as a receipt of educational services never truly rendered. I've been behind this barber's chair, and I've been asking questions. There used to be a commercial that said, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Since I was very young, I've learned to make friends and ask questions because science and life go together.
Yes.
You see, the whole aspect of the natives that lived here before America, they were all scientists. And
but
they
I want
studied the land.
But you know what, Woody?
What makes life grow.
Right, but can I say this to you, Woody? I want to thank you, though, because when you started calling the radio station, you were talking about the office for children of chattel slavery, and you didn't stop that, non-immigrants, right? But you didn't stop that, but you also realized that there's something you can do, and you're stepping up to do that thing, which is why we're here to help you. Okay,
yes,
my husband, if nothing else, we're going to have to find some place for all the connects and Legos and batteries and motors that my husband tries to store and that he thinks I don't see.
Your husband's a teacher, and see, I always appreciated good teachers. It's just that in this country, it was designed to not teach the chattel slaves to read. That was the key in inner city schools, and this is why we have 30% illiteracy in our city of Philadelphia.
Right.
So you start measuring that and wonder why we see all these shootings on the street.
Right.
It's the direct reason why. If you can read right and do all the things you're supposed to do, you can fill out applications. But the major issue here is if you can't read, you can't exercise your First Amendment right.
Absolutely. And when you can't read, you can't fully critically think about. There's some things you can, because there's something called street smarts. Right. So there's a level of intelligence there, and there's street smarts. I have family members that I grew up with that are way older than myself in Jamaica that never had formal education, but smart as a whip, right? Because they were able to read. So they were reading everything around them and absorbing everything that came their way. So I hear you, Woody. I do.
Tell your husband to read Philadelphia Real Home Magazine, page 83. If he goes online, Go Home Philly, abbreviate Philly. So GoHomePhilly.com, and it's on page 83. I'm talking about South Philadelphia. He'll see a big sign, and you'll see the article. He'll love that. He will really love that. And plus, it's something he can help teach with, because it has a lot of information on there about a street in South Philadelphia. I took a walk from 15th Street all the way down. Started with Kenny Gamble and ended up with Sherman Hensley. All lived on Christian Street. So check
Sherman Hemsley from
from the show.
Really?
Because look, I'm taking a walk down Christian Street. There's a gentleman who has a pharmacy there, and all these people are developing and gentrifying. He's got the only corner left on 20th and Christian, and that is the guy that was the pharmacy. My father's best friend passed away, and this young man, Mr. Wack, he bought the place. And he's keeping it just like it was. But you should see, they tried to buy him out. They're doing all kinds of things, trying to get on top of his property. It's just horrible.
So you know what? So Woody, hearing you talk about that, I was telling Tiffany Bacon this morning when I was talking to her that one of the things that I would love to do is to get out into the community and run my radio show in a different location every week. I'd rather do that. I would stay longer with WURD if I was able to do that than to be in a studio or sitting inside doing this.
Anything to lift your spirits, to let
your
wings
honey, because Mother loves the people. I do. Gotta go. So thank you so much.
Tell your husband I said I'll be looking forward to seeing you.
Listen. I'm telling you, Woody, you cannot have googly eyes when you see me with my husband.
Well, listen, he already understands you're a beautiful woman, and but in South Philly, brothers already knew. You ain't got to worry about him. As long as he don't bother nothing, he can appreciate it all day long.
Bye, Woody.
Right,
I'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Bye-bye. Oh, that was a great way to start the show. And I see you, Tyrone. Let me take a quick break, and then we'll be right back, okay? Michael, we are on fire already today, honey. It's always a pleasure. Let me see what's going on here. Join WURD for the Summer of Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour. This year, we celebrate West Oak Lane, Mantua, North, West, and South Philly. Tiffany Bacon will broadcast live from a different neighborhood each Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Our next stop is North Philly's Penrose Playground, 1101 West Susquehanna Avenue, Friday, July 23rd. Enjoy a special feature on the Summer Olympics, meet special guests, and stand with WURD. Be a part of the movement to amplify the voice of the Black community. Show your support and join or renew your forward membership on site. Join us as we broadcast from the Recreation Center at Penrose Playground from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. WURD, showing love this summer. And click jobs. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. We will be right back to talk more about Jamie Gaudier, how she stepped up in the gap for her folks. I think y'all think I know her. I don't know her. I've not had more than a hello to her in passing, but I am a sister that is supportive and grateful for how she stood up for her constituents in City Council this week, even while they're on vacation. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hello, Philadelphia. Switching to Geico is a good idea, especially when you consider everything.
First off, Geico makes it easy to switch, and you can contact your local agent for personalized assistance.
But having a trusted insurer in your life could make you feel so secure that you'll want to do something dangerous like run through a cactus patch, and that never ends well.
Well, if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds on car insurance, and you could keep saving by bundling your motorcycle, boat, and RV, plus your home or renter's insurance.
But saving money might make you want to giggle gleefully, and when your mouth's open, a stray acorn could fall in there. It happens a lot, actually.
Well, they do have an industry-leading mobile app you can use to pay your bill, file and manage a claim, or add a new driver. And they offer discounts to military and federal employees.
And that might make you so happy that you start whistling all the time. Who likes whistling? Name one person.
Well, Geico is the second largest car insurer in the country and has been saving people money for 85 years. It's hard to beat that.
But you're right.
Switch to Geico. It's obviously a good idea.
Whatever the world brings, we're always moving forward. Reinventing business, reimagining home, and reemphasizing community. At PICO, we're redefining support, finding new ways to provide financial assistance, supporting opportunities for good jobs, and uplifting our communities. We're by your side through it all, because whatever the future holds, you're ready to take it on, and we're ready to power it. Find the support you need at pico.com.
Hey WURD family, did you hear? It's official. The Colorectal Cancer Alliance just announced the new age for colon cancer screenings has been officially lowered to age 45 for everyone. If you are 45 or older, it's time to get screened. Go to WURDradio.com and click on the Go to Know banner to register for your free at-home screening test. Did you know colon cancer is largely preventable with on-time screening? And there's a 90% survival rate when caught early. African Americans are 20% more likely to get colon cancer and about 40% more likely to die from it than most other groups. So for the next 3 months, you can go to WURDradio.com and click on the Go to Know banner for your free at-home screening test. A screening navigator will contact you to ask a few questions and help you get screened. It's that simple. Again, just go to WURDradio.com, click on the Go to Know banner, and fill out the form to request your free at-home screening test. Go to Know today.
Want the latest in WURD swag? Check out the shop tab on WURDradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. The shop tab on WURDradio.com. Show the world that you're all about black. Talk media.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. Don't forget to join the Summer of Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour. They will be in North Philly tomorrow at Penrose Playground, 1101 West Susquehanna Avenue. Our very own Tiffany Bacon will be hosting that show. Show up and show your WURD love in your WURD swag. I know there are plenty of people who are willing to do that. I'm getting tired of your ish. You don't never buy me nothing. Tyrone! Doo-doo, doo, doo, doo. You ready, Tyrone? See, every time you come around, you got to bring Jim, James, Paul, and Tyrone. Hi, Tyrone.
Hello, Mother. Mother, I'm going to buy you something now.
What?
I'm going to buy you something.
What? What you going to buy me, Tyrone? Because you ain't buying me nothing.
I'm going to buy you something. I don't ever want to hear you say he don't never buy me nothing.
What's going on, my brother?
How's Mother?
I am. The closer I get to getting out of this chair and traveling the country, the happier and more relaxed and free I feel. Honestly.
And you owe it to yourself. Let me say peace and blessings to my WURD family and much love and respect to all of you. You know, Mother, Woody ain't going to have you to yourself. So when you and your husband going to Woody, you got to let us know, because I'm going to be there if nobody else. I don't want Woody to have y'all to y'all, just to have y'all to yourself. I'm going to be there. I don't want Woody to think he's in second place. He's in fourth place.
Woody is going to have, my husband said, I have never seen anyone flirt so shamelessly like Woody. Like, and he keeps telling me to tell Woody he's not dying anytime soon. So he just has to get himself together. All in love and fun, my darling. What can I do for you today?
Well, Mother, I don't know. You know what? When the Woody's done convince y'all to come, I said I got to call to let you know. Just call it out, because I'm going to be there. I just don't want him to have y'all by himself.
He won't. The goal, Tyrone, is to help as many. I know. He's not going, listen, I told him, I said, don't you be giving me no googly eyes either. My husband's going to be watching you. But we really want to help as many young people as we possibly can. And when I say my husband is smart, yesterday, when the electricity went out, he came home. He brought me dinner. He said, I knew you weren't going to want to open the refrigerator, so I brought you a salad. Bet. Then I was looking for him. I said, what are you doing? He was building a fan, putting some stuff together, building a fan, and putting the motors in and putting the batteries in so that a fan would blow on me so that I wouldn't be hot, because he knows I have like all these hot flashes. And I just looked at him, and I was like, wow, he's that smart, Tyrone. He is that smart.
I can imagine. He's just like my grandson. My grandson can do anything. I said, man, where do you learn all this stuff from? He said the internet. And he got news to be still in federal prison because of the George Floyd protest. I mean, I am so...
Wait a minute. Back it up. Pump your brakes, pump your brakes, pump your brakes. What do you mean he's in federal prison because of the George Floyd protest?
Well, you know, when the federal director, the one that Trump appointed, came to Philly and told Krasner that, you know what, he's not doing enough in processing folks, that they're going to start processing individuals. I think my grandson got caught up in that madness, because when he came to Philadelphia, you know, he was standing in front of a police car with his fist just giving a salute. And he said that's all he was doing, getting a salute in front of the burning car. And now he's still in prison. He's still in prison for that. And this
how long has he been locked up, Tyrone?
He's been locked up a year and 11 weeks.
Okay, that is wasted potential right there.
And I'm just telling you, and I'm just hurting it to my heart, because he is such a brilliant individual.
How old is he?
He's 25. Well, 26.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. The whole year. And he was working full time, just started his business, doing well, and my God, he go down there to protest, and I told him, I said, don't do nothing else. And look at this, here he is, a year and...
do you all have a lawyer for him?
Huh?
Do you have a lawyer for him?
Well, he had a lawyer, but, you know, we don't know what's going on. I don't know where this lawyer is. I told him not to get a lawyer. I told him to let him use the federal, what they call them, public defender.
Right.
I told him to use that because, these lawyers, folks got to understand, you can't just get any lawyer.
Right.
A Philadelphia lawyer may not know federal law.
Right.
So to go take a Philadelphia lawyer to a federal court, you might be causing more harm than good.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, Mother, I do know it hurts my heart when I do that, so I'm going to just let that go and just say, to God be the glory, and God, he will do something about this. And
so this is a hard lesson for him to learn, but a lesson nonetheless. We'd have to see what he's being charged with. I hope he's not being charged with setting the car on fire, honestly, because then that would be serious issues for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. And it just hurt me that, here folks done ran up on the Capitol, done killed people in the Capitol, and the people doing the protest, this guy killed 2 people, and they are out, and he's still in. It just hurts my heart for that. But anyway,
I do get it.
Brother, while we're on this note, just saying to our young people, as again, I just can't, overstate and overplay, our young folks. I am saying they are just so gifted, so brilliant, and just to be caught up in this, can't walk the street, can't play basketball, can't sit on the court.
Can't do anything. Right.
These few Joe Knuckleheads just, just creating havoc and disrupting our community. And again, I want to give, Reverend Nick a pat on his back. Reverend Nick says it, and I think it's so important. Who is raising these children? Who is pulling their chains? Who is pushing them? Who is instructing them? Who is telling them to do this? Because ain't no way you're going to be standing on 60th and Samson and shoot the 4 of you and shoot into a crowd of people if there's not something or somebody, pushing or pulling your chain.
And it is incumbent upon us as the older people, especially those who were born and raised in this country and have seen civil protests, to sit down with the younger people and say, there's a way to do this. We want to make sure that you're able to come home and and that people know where to find you should you get caught up. So I gotta go though, Tyrone. I'm so sorry to hear about all of that, but
yes, Mother, you are just so right. We got to find out what's in them. What do y'all want? What is in you? What do you want? Why are you creating this havoc, keeping our community from coming together? You are really keeping our community from coming together, and that's what I think the bottom line is. They're part of something that don't want to see our community come together.
But Tyrone, they can't get us all. Right? And so we have to be a part of the solution. Part of the solution is showing up and having, there are a whole bunch of people doing after school programs. There should be a whole bunch more. There are a whole bunch of people, doing neighborhood watch. There should be a whole bunch more. There are a whole bunch of people who are thinking about running for office and setting up. There should be a whole bunch more. We sit around kind of waiting for, somebody to do the right things when it's we who we've been waiting for all this time. And that's why on the source, I keep saying to you all, before we start talking about a bunch of foolishness and having what I call useless conversations with people who are only going to dance around the issues at hand, what are some of the solutions that we can address ourselves to help us move forward as a people? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Mother, and thank God that we are doing the work. I love you.
Love you
and
too, my brother.
Appreciate everything that you do. And again, young folks, wake up, please, wake up. And those, like you said, Mother, that's sitting on the sideline doing nothing, please do something. Love you.
Love you too. Talk to you later, Tyrone. Give your love, my love to your beautiful wife. Bye-bye.
I most certainly will.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So before I had my two callers, I was talking about Councilmember Jamie Gauthier and how she stood up to the mayor requesting an emergency declaration here in Philadelphia. And so whether she was right or wrong, what made me what stood out for me was that she stood up for her constituents. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who are not doing it, who are just kind of behind the scenes, yinging and yanging. Yes, yinging and yanging about nothing. And so to see her do that was interesting. So 6ABC, Kenny to address gun violence amid outcries as homicides top 300. An emergency or disaster declaration would not change the direction of the city's work, the mayor said. Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney is expected to hold a joint virtual press conference on Wednesday afternoon to provide an update on gun violence prevention strategies as the homicide rate reaches at least 308 people. Wow, killed so far this year. The murder rate is up 33% from this time last year, and the city has already surpassed many total year tallies. To put the startling statistic into perspective, this year, homicides to date, just halfway through 2021, are higher than the full year totals in 6 of the past 12 years. Oh, boy. Kenny will be joined by city officials with the Office of Criminal Justice and Public Safety, the Department of Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disability Services, and the Police Department. Now, we probably all missed that yesterday because of the rain. They will address prevention strategies underway and will focus on the available behavioral health and trauma support. The mayor is also expected to take questions for the first time concerning a letter he wrote to City Council stating that he would not declare a state of emergency, arguing that it is not a solution that would change conditions they are currently working to combat. In his letter, which can be read in full below, Kenny says, calls for a disaster or emergency declaration are intended to unlock additional support resources, but the city of Philadelphia is already doing this by allocating over $150 million in the fiscal year 22 budget that was just approved, but the money, it was just approved, so it's not yet working. So what are we doing? Kenny said a call for an emergency declaration may be better directed toward unlocking more state resources. The city would welcome additional state resources and changes to regulations that stem access and flow of illegal guns, the mayor wrote. The mayor said in regards to an emergency declaration allowing for a more coordinated response to gun violence, his administration has been working to address violence in a coordinated fashion for years. Next, it has been said that an emergency declaration would draw more attention to this issue and allow for a greater response from more governmental or non-governmental partner. The reality is that the gun, hold on one second, y'all. I'm trying to do 5 screens at one time here. The mayor said he has spoken to President Joe Biden on the urgent need for new and enhanced approaches, and the city is participating in multiple national networks. An emergency or disaster declaration would not change the direction of this work, the mayor said. So what I would love for the mayor to do is to tell us, what are these multiple national networks? What are the things that you're participating in? Maybe if we could understand what those things are that he's talking about, then maybe people will feel like something is being done, because he said here his administration has been working to address violence in a coordinated fashion for years, and yet the violence in the city continues to grow out of control. So, Mr. Mayor, sir, maybe it is time for us not to kind of talk around it, but what are the things that what are the things that you're participating? What are these multiple national networks that you're participating in that would help us to understand? There are city council members and others in the community who are not happy with the mayor's approach. His response that he's already doing enough, already doing all he can, provides no sense of comfort to the people who are being traumatized, absolutely traumatized, said City Council member Jamie Gauthier, who responded with a letter of her own, which can also be read below. All right. on Tuesday night, 2 people were shot, including a woman who is 6 months pregnant, according to police. Like, y'all, everything is off limits. She was hit 3 times, once in the head, arm, and chest, officers said. Investigators said it happened along the 5400 block of Pearl Street at a lounge nightclub where people were gathered to remember an employee who recently passed. And so, yeah, children are not off limits anymore. Women are not off limits. Pregnant women, I mean, oh my God, this is too much. I see that I have 2 callers on, so I'm going to take a quick break, and then we will be back, okay? You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. We will be right back after these messages.
Students, parents, teachers, guardians, 100 Black Men of Philadelphia is offering free mentoring programs this summer to help provide an alternative to the gun violence plaguing our city. Our programs build character, body, and mind of our boys 1st to 12th grades through paid high school internships, book clubs, fishing, physical fitness, and more. Register today at www.100blackmenphilly.org and click events or call 267-258-2900.
What's up, Philly? It's Solomon. With so much uncertainty surrounding the upcoming school year, now is the time to take charge of your child's education and give them the tools to make learning fun and safe. Check out Commonwealth Charter Academy, which can make a difference in your child's life. Commonwealth Charter Academy, or CCA, is a K-12 public cyber charter school with nearly 20 years of experience providing a flexible, stable, online education in the comfort of your home. Enroll today at ccaeducate.me. Your child will receive 1. A world-class accredited education streamed directly into your home at no cost to you. 2. A laptop, headphones, assistance with accessing the internet, and learning materials all provided at no cost to you. 3. A safe learning environment with no bullying or security concerns. Join the nearly 2,500 students from Philly who already attend CCA. The school year begins September 8th. Enroll now at ccaeducate.me.
For the past 10 years, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 5 million students from low-income families to low-cost, high-speed internet. We're working with both nonprofit partners and city leaders to create over 1,000 Wi-Fi connected lift zones in community centers nationwide. And now we're committing $1 billion to reach 50 million people with the connectivity, skills, training, and the resources they need to succeed in a digital world. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
Do you have what it tastes to solve Hers Flavor Mix Mystery? 1 chip, 3 classic Hers flavors, thousands of possible combinations. Pick up a bag of Hers Flavor Mix Mystery and make your guess online today. Your guess could win you $10,000 and a year's supply of Hers. Visit Hers on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more info on how to enter. Solve the mystery. Break out the Hers. No purchase necessary. Legal residents of the 50 United States, D.C., 18 years of age and older. Ends 8/31/21. To enter and for official rules, including odds and prize descriptions, visit campaign.rtm.com/HersFlavorMixMystery/ void where prohibited.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Maybe you're not sure how you'll make rent, or you lost your job. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light. Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need.
211, how can I help you?
Call or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected. Get help. A message from United Way and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. Oh, I have George Maurice and SLDDVA. I have, wait, let me just double check. I have George Maurice and Prince. Lord, y'all don't love me. Now listen, I have a 2 o'clock guest. You're going to have to make it all fit in. Let me start. Prince, how are you?
Good afternoon. How are you?
Lord, all sorts of things going on. What's going on, sir?
Well, I'm going to be quick. Well, my thing is the mayor was right in not creating a state of emergency because you just came off a closure of 18 months shutdown. When you do a state of emergency, you then have to implement martial law. And then that brings about a catastrophic approach to a situation that still has the ability to be worked out. And so when you have political novice in office, new political people who don't have the experience, like Malcolm Kenyatta, like Armin Brown, like Gordier, they're going to come up with these right now solutions, but there's a long-term approach to understanding the due diligence you need when you run a city this big. And so for them to come up with a quick plan, you know, of let's shut it all down, all they do is expose us. How many police officers are there? About 6,500, right, Andrea?
6,000. So it's about 6,000.
Right.
Yeah.
But they work on shifts. So that means that from 7 o'clock until 3, you don't have all 6,500 cops working.
Right.
You have about 3,000, because even the ones that are on desk duty and the ones that are out sick are counted in the daytime shift, not in the evening shift. And so you need community security, which you have to reinvest in the community, but not in the preachers who don't live in the community. That's the big problem. You keep giving the money to the churches and the preachers. They don't live in the community. All their kids is grown. They don't even have kids in the community. And so then the new preachers keep talking this social coming to God issue, while they're building across the street from your church a $90 million, $80 million project, and you were not involved. You went in on the social aspect of how it can be built, but you're not in the economics of it. And until you stabilize us economically, where we can compete economically, where we can work these jobs without feeling compelled to be unionized or join a union or not get the prevailing wages, then you're going to have issues. It's just a matter of have and have not. You know, all you seen was Sharif Streets when his wife's cousin got shot. But I haven't seen Anthony Williams, Vincent Hughes. I ain't seen none of those guys post-pandemic freedom, where you can get out and get in front of a microphone talking about this horrific situation here.
Yeah, so give me a hot second. So when I started the show, I said I wasn't sure if she was right or wrong. What I was happy about was that she spoke up and said something. Everybody else was just kind of chilling, like, you know, I don't know what. And yes, she's brand new, but at least she's opening her mouth to speak up on behalf of her constituents.
No,
how many other people you see doing that?
No, that's see, you much smarter when you don't say anything, especially when you aren't learned in politics like this. She don't get any kudos speaking up about something that politically she's unlearned about. That doesn't make sense, because has she ever been in a martial law situation? No. Has she ever seen that in her lifetime? No. Does she know what is required when you do an emergency shutdown? You had an inkling of that when you called in the National Guard, and the Republican Donald Trump sent the National Guards in here regardless of the governor and the mayor. And it was the governor and the mayor that said, we don't want the National Guard, send them out of here. So what I'm saying is, she don't get kudos for not being smart enough. It's in the political process, when you get elected, you have to put the right team around you so your marching orders come a certain way. But when you step out there on a limb and look like a fool and say, you need to have martial law. Well, let me ask you a question out there. If you complain about the white cops killing you and you put this in an emergency state, they now have the right to shoot you on demand if you don't follow the directions.
So when you declare a state of emergency, does it automatically become martial law?
That's exactly right. Yeah, because you have to begin to implement a process that people are going to follow and do at any means necessary. Clear the street, do this and do that. And so you take all the means necessary, and that's all I'm saying is that we don't have enough of these new politicians with seasoned people. Ask Miss Joanne or ask George Burrell. Sit down with these seasoned politicians in order to get your marching order. Don't just say, we don't need y'all, because of y'all old people that y'all got us into this. And I'm going to hang up and let the other people talk.
Well, Prince, before you hang up, let me say this. Thank you for your perspective, right? Because you gave me a different way to think about this. I still am happy that she spoke up and said something. She may have said the wrong thing. Okay, get it. I got it, right? And I clarified that it may be rightly or wrongly, but she spoke up. And I'm so saddened by the fact that so many of our city council people don't say a whole lot of anything. You know what I mean? So what she needs now is some help.
You re-elected a mayor who didn't hold up to any of his promises, whether it's stop and frisk or $15 an hour. And he was a long-time politician in city council. And so we don't really get any credit to anybody until we get the voting participation from 17.5% in a $1.3 million population that's registered to vote. And so we get that somewhere like when Wilson Good got in office, where 80% of people voted, for the first African-American mayor. We have to start fighting for that, because we're going to keep getting these silly people in here who come up with these ideas. That's like saying Almond Brown said something, but he said that he's all for mandatory minimum on people who already got criminal records.
I saw that, yeah.
All right, thank you. I'm going to let other people talk.
Well, thank you for dropping the mic. I don't know if I have enough time now for other people to talk, so excuse me for coughing in my microphone. That came out of nowhere. So here's what I'm going to do. Maurice and George, I want you to hang up and call me back at 2:20 when I have some time to talk to you, because I have to take this person at 2 o'clock on the nose, right? So I'd like you to call me back at 2:20 when I have more time to talk to you openly and freely, okay? All right, thank you all so much. Prince, this city is in, so this is part of the reason why when I talk about, those of us running for office, in my estimation, Jamie Gaudier was brave. She may not have gotten it all right, but I believe she was brave in speaking up, and it probably came from frustration. We know not what's going on behind the scenes in council chambers. We just don't know, and we don't know what were some of the conversations that we're not privy to. I did see that Erica Atwood was interviewed, and she said that there should not be a declaration of emergency, that there are things being put into place. What I am asking for as a lay person that is on the air with all of you is to start telling us what these things are. Start laying them out. So if Erica, if you would like to come on the air and talk to me about what are the things that are being put in place to help, and what are we doing in the meantime when all these people are dying? We're now at 308 deaths, and we keep pointing the fingers at leadership, but leadership is going to need help. And so we need to, if leadership will come out and say, these are the things, A, B, C, and D that we're doing, then that would make sense to us. And then we can say, all right, we'd like to join A, we'd like to join B, we'd like to join C. How can we be a part of D, E, F, and G, But we just can't just unilaterally say things are being put in place. What are the things? What are these phantom things? And if they're already being laid out, show me where it is so I can give it to the people of this city. All right? Okay. All right, cool. All right, let me do this. This summer is the perfect time to come out and come on up. If you're looking, no, that's not the one I want to do, sorry. Join WURD for the Summer of Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour. This year, we celebrate West Oak Lane, Mantua, North, West, and South Philly. Tiffany Bacon will broadcast live from a different neighborhood each Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Our next stop is North Philly's Penrose Playground, 1101 West Susquehanna Avenue, Friday, July 23rd. That is tomorrow. Enjoy a special feature on the Summer Olympics. Meet special guests and stand with WURD. Be a part of the movement to amplify the voice of the Black community. Show your support and join or renew your forward membership on site. Join us as we broadcast from the Recreation Center at Penrose Playground from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. WURD showing love this summer. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. We will be right back after these messages.
Hey WURD family, did you hear? It's official. The Colorectal Cancer Alliance just announced the new age for colon cancer screenings has been officially lowered to age 45 for everyone. If you are 45 or older, it's time to get screened. Go to WURDradio.com and click on the Go to Know banner to register for your free at-home screening test. Did you know colon cancer is largely preventable with on-time screening? And there's a 90% survival rate when caught early. African Americans are 20% more likely to get colon cancer and about 40% more likely to die from it than most other groups. So for the next 3 months, you can go to WURDradio.com and click on the Go to Know banner for your free at-home screening test. A screening navigator will contact you to ask a few questions and help you get screened. It's that simple. Again, just go to WURDradio.com, click on the Go to Know banner, and fill out the form to request your free at-home screening test. Go to Know today.
Stage Door, focusing on arts and culture in and around Philadelphia. Hosted by Tiffany Bacon and co-moderated by Jeffrey Page of the Philadelphia Theater Company. Part of The Source, Fridays at noon, exclusively on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on WURDradio.com, the WURD Radio app, or watch live on WURD TV via Facebook and YouTube. Sponsored by New Voices sponsor Comcast, NBC Universal, and Pico.
Need to replace your Social Security card? In most states, you can request one online with a My Social Security account. A My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal earnings history and benefit status. You can also get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Independent Black Media.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. While I wait for my 2 p.m. guest to show up, I would like to read an article from the Philadelphia Tribune. This was written by Christina Maxoris. Child cases of COVID-19 are rising as schools gear up to reopen, but vaccines for the youngest are still months away. It's very interesting. When COVID-19 first broke out at the end of 2019, early 2020, they were saying children were the least susceptible to getting the virus. And I knew it was only a matter of time. So we didn't pay any attention to the babies. We kept saying, well, they're fine. Their gene pools are, their DNA is stronger than ours. Ours is more weakened, et cetera, et cetera. And so it was the elderly that continued to die at an alarming rate. Well, now guess what? The roles have reversed. New COVID-19 cases are the American Academy of Pediatrics said Tuesday that more than 23,550 child cases of COVID were reported between July 8th and July 15th, nearly double what was being reported in late June. Child age ranges vary by state, according to the group's most recent report, with more than half of the states defining children as anyone 19 or younger, and 2 states, Utah and Florida, limiting the range to anyone 14 or younger. The American Academy of Pediatrics said severe illness remains rare among children, but with COVID-19 cases rising in most of the country once again, experts have warned lagging vaccinations and the ferocious Delta variant could spell trouble for the country's youngest, many of whom are still ineligible for a vaccine. So many people, unvaccinated individuals, are getting Delta, that children are getting swept up along with it. And I think this is going to make things very difficult as the school year opens, Dr. Hotez. Death of the National School of Tropical Medicine at the Baylor College of Medicine said Tuesday. The head of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention on Tuesday also stressed the need to take the virus and its threat to children seriously. I think we fall into this flawed thinking of saying that only 400 of the 600,000 deaths from COVID have been in children, CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky said in a Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions hearing. Children are not supposed to die, and so 400 is a huge amount for respiratory season. no COVID-19 vaccine has yet been given the green light for Americans younger than 12 years old. And while pharmaceutical companies Pfizer and Moderna are conducting clinical trials, it will likely be months until younger children are able to get a shot. Oh, Lord. Last week, Dr. Fauci told CNN's Jim Acosta, my husband taught Jim Acosta, he believed a decision from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration likely not to happen until we get well into the winter towards the end of this year. Pfizer's data on 5 to 11-year-olds from its vaccine study could come sometime in September. And depending on the findings, the company previously told CNN it could ask the FDA for an emergency use authorization that same month. Oh, Father. So just be careful with your children, please. There's a lot going on out here. And, you know, I see you all in the airports with them. I see, you know, with their masks off, doing whatever you want to do. And especially since the adults around them may or may not be vaccinated, I just, you know, please, you know, we don't give birth to our children to lose them, and especially for something that is preventable, right? Then I saw this again in the Philadelphia Tribune. Thank you to Dee for putting all of these news reports together, because it gives us a central location to find what we are looking for. Michael, please let me know when my next guest is on. My 2 o'clock guest should be on soon. The Democratic National Committee launches new coalition to target Black and brown voters. Nikel Terry Ellis wrote this on, oh, well, good. Let me get the guest in. All right. Thank you, Michael. Darlene Jones is owner of Star Fusion Express at 5178 Parkside Avenue in West Philadelphia's Parkside neighborhood. Opened her original Star Fusion location in 2015 in Overbrook. She, along with business and life partner Frederick Williams, opened the current location in June of 2020 during the height of the pandemic. She opened Blue Diamond Juicery at 52nd and Walnut Streets in 2018 and plans to reopen it following a temporary closure due to COVID. At Star Fusion, Jones looks to hire those who have been in trouble before, people she can take a chance on to offer a new start and a steady job. She's a big proponent of charity, donating to various neighborhood programs, including the Parkside Association of America, a community-based organization which serves community while supporting housing services in the West Parkside section of the city. Good afternoon, Ms. Jones. How are you?
I am well. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Ms. Lawson.
Oh, it is my pleasure. So I am looking at these delicious-looking juices. So I love ginger. Is your Fusion Express, is it open?
Star Fusion Express, it is open, yes. It's open 7 days a week. We open at 11 a.m. and we close at 10 p.m., except on Sundays we close at 10 p.m. The juices that you are actually talking about is the gin and juice promotion that we have going on right now. But we're not actually using gin.
Ginger.
We're using ginger in its place, of course. It's just a healthier twist on a way to drink something refreshing in this hot weather. You know what I mean?
I do. So I have to tell you, so I love ginger. Ginger is something that has so many healing properties to it, and I think people don't realize it. And so I'm seeing the strawberry lemon ginger, the pineapple ginger colada. Oh my God, what is in that?
Thank you. Thank you for asking about that. So it's actually fresh ginger and a pineapple colada. We use coconut milk, fresh coconut milk. We use coconut water, a fresh squeezed lemonade. We don't use any sugar in that drink. We chose to use agave. Agave has, agave is better, lower on a glycemic level for people. You know, so it's.
So then you answered my question about diabetes, because I want that drink. The pineapple ginger colada, yes, ma'am. Y'all got to see this.
You still have to watch your intake when you're drinking agave, but agave is always better to process in your body than sugar.
So
now,
let me
offer sugar drinks as well, but right now we're hosting some of our healthier, natural fruit drinks that the community can enjoy, especially the ones who have certain problems. And you know, diabetes is one of the biggest things in our neighborhood, in our community. So, it's just our way of doing something to give back. And then a portion of the proceeds is going to the Parkside Association that helps them out with their computer labs.
Right. So I'm sitting here now, y'all. I need y'all. I am looking at these juices right in front of my face, and you have a blueberry lemonade. So let me ask you this: if I come in to get the pineapple ginger colada, and I ask you because I'm Jamaican, so the coconut water, the coconut milk, the pineapple, and the ginger is saying hallelujah to me. If I come in and I ask for one of those, and I ask that you not put agave in it, but just let me drink it that way, would you be able to do that?
So we make them. We have to make it in a batch because we get a lot of customers. We don't have a way to make it individualized as of right now. So it is in batches right now. But we do use a very small amount of the agave. I will say this: the cup of juice that we serve is 24 ounces. As you know, I'm not a doctor, so I'm only going based on things that I've researched. So with someone who has like diabetes, they can't drink 24 ounces of a cold fruit juice. I definitely don't, even if it's all fruit, I definitely don't recommend that they drink the whole thing all at once. But it's just a healthier way. We didn't use sugar to make it. We used like agave. We also use some monk fruit as well to make some of these drinks.
Yes.
So it just does not have sugar in it. But if you have diabetes, you still have to watch any sweet intake. But sugar is the killer. We know that,
Yes. So what I would, I'm actually coming to get the pineapple ginger colada. I probably will dilute it a little bit because I am diabetic, right? And I have been keeping my blood sugars normal since 2019 without medication. And just from what you're talking about, I don't play any games at all. And so looking at this, I will probably break it into two. From the 24 ounces because it looks amazing, y'all. I looked at it and I was like, oh, Father. But I also have to be very careful. So tell me, what was the impetus behind the ginger and juice? And this is a promotional thing, or are you going to have it all the time moving forward?
So it's the summer promotion that we're offering right now. It's over at the end of the summer. Now, what sparked our interest is, you did mention that we have a juice bar called Blue Diamond Juicery. That's not open right now, but we own that building, so we're expecting to reopen that in September with a brand new staff. Now, Star Fusion Express is on 52nd and Parkside. It's in the West Philadelphia community. So is Blue Diamond Juicery. So Juicery wanted to kind of like come up with like a drink that we can actually sell at Star Fusion. And the customers who kind of like to eat, more, I'm not going to say on the heavier side, but the customers who like to, who just don't have to watch what they eat, they can eat plenty of choices at Star Fusion Express, but I still have my Blue Diamond customers that like to eat on more of the healthier side. So we wanted to kind of like create something that met them in the middle. Yes, it's a fruit drink, it's just not made with sugar. It is made with agave and monk fruit. Those things are lower in glycemic, but as a diabetic, you still would have to watch your intake of any type of sweeteners, whether it's a natural sweetener from a juice. We just wanted to put something else as an option for you to drink. I have customers now, they come in. I'm sure of course they don't announce the things that they have, but if they saw that, hey, I can get my combo meal with something that's not made with sugar, you know, I'll pick that option instead. I'm a big curator. So even last night I was cooking dinner at home. I made some seafood fried rice, but instead of using rice, I used quinoa. I love it so much that I'm going to actually bring that to my restaurant, bring that to Star Fusion Express in more of the winter months. Starting like in September, you'll be able to choose between the regular rice or like a quinoa rice. So, I'm just
you know what I'm trying to do, Miss Jones? I'm trying to get people to not be, to not hide that they're diabetic when they go into restaurants, to say there are certain things I can't eat. So if I come to Star Fusion to have a meal, what are some of the things that you offer in your restaurant?
Okay, so at Star, so anybody that's looking for like a lower glycemic meal, you can always get like something grilled. We sell a lot of grilled and jerk. We sell jerk salmon, grilled salmon, in various different ways, and you can just double up on your vegetables. So that would be something that would be like on a lower glycemic level, not choosing rice to double up on vegetables. Now, Star Fusion, the original Star Fusion, the one that was forced to close because of COVID, there I had an actual, I would call it like a diabetic-friendly menu where I gave you choices. Star Fusion Express is kind of small, so I can't give too many choices.
Right.
But we still have something for you there. We have salads. You can get salads topped with grilled shrimp, grilled chicken, or grilled fish. You know, we offer lots of vegetable options at the restaurant and a lot of meat options that we offer. Their portion, you know, our salmon fillets are 6-ounce portions. In general, you know, if you want to get an extra portion, you would have to pay for an extra portion. But, you know, when you are looking to watch what you're eating, especially if you are diabetic, you only are allowed to eat a certain amount of portion in each setting anyway. So we do provide a lot of grilled options at that restaurant, so you can make a choice. You know, obviously when you go there, it's called Star Fusion, home of the specialty wings and spring roll bar. So that would be the first thing that you would probably order. But I'm sure you, the customer, you know what personal issues you have. You have to kind of pick the best options for you. And we make sure that we provide some options there so you have a choice, you know? So that is something that we do there. We make sure we have some options on there so you can enjoy and not think about it. Now, the quinoa thing is something new. It was so good, Miss Lawson. I should have brought you some. I made it last night.
It was so good.
I'm trying to shed away 20 pounds. So that makes me creative when I'm working on myself. I know I'm not the only woman that's in her 40s that's trying to lose 20 pounds. So I'm like, well, how can I enjoy some of my good food without getting carrying on the extra pounds? So that quinoa option, I think we're speaking it into existence as we continue this interview.
Yes, yes, because someone like me, lots of people like me would eat quinoa. It's a great source, low glycemic index, and we just don't eat rice anymore. But so tomorrow I have to be in town, and I'm finished doing what I'm doing at 11 o'clock, and on my way back this way to do some other appointments, I'm going to stop in at your store, and I'm going to have lunch.
Oh, please
I am coming. Oh, I'm coming. Please. I am absolutely coming. So look for me around 11:15. I'll walk right on in and have lunch with you.
Make sure you take my cell phone number down so I can make sure I'm there to greet you. I would love to meet you in person.
All right, give it to Mike off the air so that you don't give it to everybody, because if people are listening. So this looks good. The ginger and juice had me at hello. Sherilyn Rush says, thanks for this new Star Fusion food interview. I will try using quinoa in my fried rice dish. Yes. It's good stuff, Sherilyn. It really is. And sometimes with quinoa, if you want to have it cold, you can mix it with cucumbers and
everything.
It's amazing. And then have some grilled meat with it. It's good. So I love the idea that you're thinking about all the people, not just some of the clients. You know?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. This is good stuff. This is good stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, anything that we can do in our community to make it better is something that I 100% stand for. Like, I love the skin that I'm in, and I love that the people in the community, we all look alike. So I'm definitely grateful. Anything I can do to help is what I'm here for. If you have any other ideas, Ms. Lawson, since you say you like to help,
listen, I've got plenty. I've got plenty, because when we've had to adjust and not eat I stopped eating white rice in 2019. There was no one on earth that could have told me, Miss Jones, that I would have stopped eating white. I'm Jamaican. We eat white rice for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks.
Yes, we do.
And I had to give it up. Right? And so it was a painful thing. But when I thought about my glycemic index and wanting to lower my diabetic numbers without medicine, that was the way to go. Right?
Absolutely, yes.
So, yeah, and you were also right about the portion sizes and the amount of the juices, because we talked about that blueberries are good for you, but lots of these fruits have enough sugar in there to knock you out. So you have to be very careful with that, too. So you're located at 5178 Parkside Avenue in West Philadelphia,
yes,
right?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, right across the street from the Man Music Center. Right on the corner. You can't miss us.
All right. Did you say the Man Music Center?
Yes, right where the Man Music Center is, directly across the street.
So here's the other thing. So I'm glad you said that. See, I love supporting my people. On August 15th, I'm going to do Lady B's basement party at the Dell. I got to go pay for my tickets and get them. Thank you to the people at the Dell that made sure my tickets were there. I am buying my tickets. For those of you who are wondering, I'm buying my tickets. I like supporting my people, and I'm not about looking for free things. I'm buying my tickets, and I'm going to bring Connie, and we're going to have dinner there at Star Fusion Express before we go to that concert on the 15th. But I will see you. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Because my ultimate goal is to make sure that my folks know and to come and support you. You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you.
You're giving back to the community, and so we're going to support you. And I will see, I'll see you tomorrow at about 11:15 once I'm finished doing my work. Okay?
I'll be there. Thank you so much for this interview. I'm grateful.
Oh, you are so welcome, my sister. I can't wait to meet you. 5178 Parkside Avenue in West Philadelphia, Parkside neighborhood. You're open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week.
7 days a week. Sundays we close at 8 p.m. That's the only difference.
Listen, wow. Close at 8 p.m. Are you looking for employees too?
We are hiring, yes. Right now I have a staff member of 14 people. Two of them I'm about to leave because they're going away to college, and I'm so happy for them. So we need about 6 more people to help fill our positions. So we are hiring right now. So if you know anybody that needs a job, we would like for them to have a little bit of experience. It's okay if they are second chance. We give chances with second chance. I'm a very tough boss, so I'm not afraid of anybody.
Okay,
so I don't care if you were incarcerated before. As long as you're doing a good job, we want you here. As long as you treat our customers with love and respect, we want you here. So this is all we stand for. Loving us, by us, for us. And thank you for
That's what I'm talking about. Let me ask you this. How can they reach out to you if they are interested in listening to this interview and are interested in applying for the job?
Just send me an email at starfusionexpress at gmail.com. That's
starfusionexpress at gmail.com?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Darlene Jones, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Have a great day. Thank you, listeners. Thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Please leave your number with Mike once we get off the air, okay? Just hold on. Mike will take the number for you. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So listen, y'all, this is what I'm talking about. Again, part of the source, right, is to talk to people who are running great business, Black-owned businesses, 5178 Parkside Avenue, Maurice. Y'all go support them. There are people out here doing the darn thing. This is Darlene Jones, owner of Star Fusion Express at 5178 Parkside Avenue in West Philadelphia. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Go and support them. The folks here are talking about quinoa. Yes, Laverne, quinoa is really very good. And I truly want you all to not be embarrassed to say, I am diabetic. It's when you don't open up your mouth and say you're diabetic and people put the food in front of you and you're just eating it even though you know. You shouldn't feel guilty about putting the right things in your mouth because it's going to be there for you, right? Your body, you got 2 kidneys, 1 liver, 1 heart, set of legs, 10 toes, 10 fingers. You want to die with your toes and your fingers. And so if not putting, as my sister in Jamaica would say, don't dig your grave with your teeth. And that simply means don't chew and eat the wrong things until it ends up killing you. So my goal is to get you all to be more transparent when you walk into restaurants and say, what do you have that is good for diabetics? And that would then force restaurants to have a whole menu. Over 100 million people, and I'm not just saying this off of the tip of my tongue. You can go read it in the medical journals. Over 100 million people in this country are either pre-diabetic or diabetic. That is insane. There are 270 million people in this country, so almost half of us. Right? And so it's the sedentary lifestyle. It's the kind of foods that we're eating. The fast food. I'm not telling you don't eat the fast food, but as you get older, leave that sucker alone and eat more and eat healthier things, right? Or do a blending of both. And part of the other thing is that we have to learn how to cook some things in our homes. Learn how to make a basic salad to eat. Thank you, Michael. I see it. Thank you. I'll call her tomorrow. To create basic things to eat, or you go to eat in places like Star Fusion Express at 5178 Parkside Avenue. And trust me, I'm not getting paid for this. But when I see people doing the right things and trying to help their community, parts of the proceeds for these ginger and juice is going to go back to helping the Parkside community. That's good, solid business model. Oh, I love it. The other one that I love is Victoria's Kitchen, right up there in off Ogons Avenue. Good food, good people, good business model. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. We will be right back after these messages.
Between family dinners, bedtime stories, and study sessions, Pico knows that life never stops moving. So if you need help paying your energy bills, there are financial programs available, like the Customer Assistance Program, or CAP, that offers a monthly credit that can lower your gas and electricity payments. Learn how Pico can help keep your life moving with CAP. See if you qualify at pico.com/CAP.
What's up, Philly? It's Sincerely Sarita. With so much uncertainty surrounding the upcoming school year, now is the time to take charge of your child's education and give them the tools to make learning fun and safe. Check out Commonwealth Charter Academy, which can make a difference in your child's life. Commonwealth Charter Academy, or CCA, is a K-12 public cyber charter school with nearly 20 years of experience providing a flexible, stable, online education in the comfort of your home. Enroll today at ccaeducate.me. Your child will receive 1. A world-class accredited education streamed directly into your home at no cost to you. 2. A laptop, headphones, assistance with accessing the internet, and learning materials, all provided at no cost to you. 3. A safe learning environment with no bullying or security concerns. Join the nearly 2,500 students from Philly who already attend CCA. The school year begins September 8th. Enroll now at ccaeducate.me.
What grows in the forest? Trees? Sure. Know what else grows in the forest? Our imagination, our sense of wonder, and our family bonds grow too. Because when we disconnect from this and connect with this, we reconnect with each other and build family memories we will carry with us forever. The forest is closer than you think. Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. It's easy. Just put in your zip code to find family-friendly outdoor destinations near you. You'll also find guides to free activities, games, and amazing forest facts. Give the magic of the outdoors to your kids and reconnect with your family. Find a forest near you at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is not a fad for us. We will not resume our regular programming when things die down. We're not black to help our bottom line or because it's politically correct. We're not joining a fight. This has been our fight, our message, our people. Black lives have always mattered here. We are undeniably, indefatigably, unapologetically, permanently Black Talk Media. WURD.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. Oh, my Lord. I have to move this ginger and juice from out of my line of vision. It looks so good, y'all. I'm telling you. But I'll see Miss Darlene tomorrow, so that'll be great. I now have some time in my schedule to talk to the people. My next guest will not be on until 3:20. And so, come on, Maurice, George, anybody else who wants to call in. The men are always calling me. Where are the women? Call mother, 215-634-8065. And the tip line for Philly Police, if you see any crime anywhere, is 215-686-8477. Speaking of, let me find it. Oh, I was reading the National Democrat. Let me do the Democratic National Convention Committee first, because I had to smile, and then I had the calls coming in. The Democratic National Committee has launched a new team that will focus on attracting black and brown voters in an effort to maintain political power ahead of the 2022 midterms. DNC officials say the Coalitions and Community Engagement Department will focus on partnering with organizers in targeted communities to reach voters of color, as well as identifying and developing future leaders and diverse political candidates for the Democratic ticket. The launch, first reported by CNN, comes as Democrats and civil rights leaders are in an uphill battle to protect voting rights they say are being stripped by GOP-led bills at the state level. Texas House Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. since last week lobbying for federal legislation that would counter the voter restrictions introduced by Republicans in their states. Brencia Berry, who was appointed Director of Coalitions and Community Engagement, said the 2020 election turnout and President Joe Biden's victory showed that voters of color play a key role in electing Democrats. Her team will focus on early strategies for getting those voters, as well as young people, to turn out again for the midterms. Berry said the coalition will also work closely with the DNC Voter Protection Department to combat voter suppression efforts across the country. We recognize that voters of color are not a monolith, Berry said, and to do real outreach, we have to ensure that we are talking to people in a way that makes them feel heard and seen. Oh, she must be black. Because I'm telling you, when I tell you that the tone deafness has been astounding in the Democratic Party, it's unimaginable. And I said this in 2016, and I remember when the, I can't remember his name now, the leader at the national level came to Philadelphia, and he was talking about the fact that they were going to work to make sure more black women got involved and more black people get involved. And so now here we are with the 2020 elections, because they realized that black folks literally took their bacon out of the fire. But we get tired of taking the bacon out of the fire, and then you put us off to the side to cool until you need us again. And so I have said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it. Until you start taking us seriously, black folks are going to be either Democrat or Republican, or they're going to go over to the Republican ticket. You all cannot make assumptions that people should just be one place or another simply because of the color of their skin. It's disingenuous, and it's tone deaf as hell. Okay? The DNC is also working to diversify its own staff Why in 2021 are we still talking about working to diversify your staff when the staff should have already been diversified, when you see what is going on in the country and how much you need our votes, right? And provide more support for black and brown employees. The committee created a Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion position that will be held by Tamara Chrysler. These hires and our deepened focus on coalition's work will ensure the DNC leaves nothing on the table as we fight to elect Democrats up and down the ballots in the months and years ahead. DNC Chair Jamie Harrison said, each and every one of these new staff are among the strongest talents in our party and will bring deep experience and unique perspective to the work we do. I could not be more excited to welcome them to the DNC family and look forward to working with them for the years to come. DNC Executive Director Sam Cornally said the expansion demonstrates the DNC effort to meet the moment. Y'all better pray for me, because one of the things that I do when I am reading is look at the key and the catchphrases that are used. And so for me, this would have been a different article if when Tom, whatever his name was, who was the DNC chair before Jamie Harrison, came in, said all the things that he had said back in 2016 was actually, those things were actually being done, so they can say to enhance what we're already doing. Like, are you serious right now? So I need us to get better. The other thing I'd like to do is start to interview some Republicans, because you all think that all black people should just, I just meet my 20,000 steps. All black people should just follow one thing. But at this stage in our lives, when we continue to ask and we're ignored and not doing what we're doing, the folks are becoming independent. Folks are leaving both parties. Folks are moving over to another. It's crazy. And they're talking about forming different parties, the Working Families Party, the Green Party, because y'all, these two-party system has been the death knell of us. So I'd love to sit down and talk to someone from the Republican party, because we can't just sit here and, if we're going to be a station that covers everything, then we need to cover everything, not just what the Democrats want or what the Republicans want. But I need to hear both sides of the story. So if there's anybody who's interested, call Mother. I'm happy to talk to you. All right, so moving right along. Let's see. Joseph from Massachusetts, how are you?
Good. I'm pretty good. How you doing, Andrea?
I'm good. What's going on, sir?
Let me just take over. Yeah, I wanted to continue talking about ADHD and ADD. A couple of your callers called in, and why it's important for us to understand it, because so many of our young men and women, and end up in jail because of their impulsivity and stuff like that. The main three things with ADHD is distractibility, impulsivity, and inattentiveness. Now, they'll want to know, well, where did that come from? Is it a disorder? It's not really a disorder if you look at the human evolution of the human being. It was a trait that evolved based on the environment. Why there's not so much ADHD people around then? Well, because they tend to be high risk takers, so a lot of them end up dying or getting in trouble through the evolutionary end. But it's a very good trait. Like Thomas Edison, the experts who study him, say if he was alive as a kid, he would be diagnosed with ADHD. They asked Thomas Edison, don't you think you was a failure? It took you 7,000 tries before you developed the light bulb. He said, no, I found out 6,999 ways of not doing something. Yeah. So a lot of times, the trait, because of this police brutality stuff and police killing that's going on, you'll find a lot of people who tend to be ADHD will get in trouble with the law because they tend to look at them as a criminal, not as a potential Thomas Edison, another innovator. And I notice a lot of people talk about the medicine, Ritalin, Adderall. If it's good to take it for your son or not. Maybe it's overprescribed, but Adderall and Ritalin are a good thing. The way they work, it's a speed, it's an upper. Like cocaine or other drugs that give you an upper high. But people who are ADHD, when they take an upper, it kind of balances it out. It kind of makes you concentrate more. That's why I'm a heavy coffee drinker, and that's good enough for me. But I think so much time, some of the callers tend to be on the negative about medicine. It's a good medicine to take, if you feel your child needs it.
So Joseph, let me say this. All medicines have side effects, right?
True.
And one of the side effects that they're finding with these two particular medicines is that it tends to lead to suicidal ideations. So I don't want to get people into thinking that you have to make the decision, the informed decision on your own on whether you want to take it or not, right? I am grateful my mother didn't put me on any medication. I am so hype. I have a natural energy about me. I don't even drink coffee. Can you imagine? And I am like this from the time I wake up till my head hits the pillow. So I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke anything. I don't even drink coffee. I'll drink a tea. You see me drinking a tea over here. Because what I realized is I didn't need anything else to add to my hyperactivity. So I found ways to cope by doing lifting buildings, barns, flying in airplanes, breaking the sound barrier. We are natural risk takers, but there are ways to channel that. And my mother found ways to channel that with me through reading. Right? So I because any medication that we take have side effects, I want family members to make informed decisions. So it may have worked for you, it may work for some other people, but it may not work for everybody. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because that's the thing we have to find a way to teach black people to educate themselves. Don't necessarily listen to the so-called expert, but go to the library, figure out what's your trait, figure out what turns you on. It's like me, I did 1,000,001 different jobs in my lifetime. I did so many different things, but I often tend to get bored. That's why I tend to move places. That's one of the things. They tend to move places and stuff like that. But the key thing is find out what you like. Like me, I know what works for me is agriculture, farming. Even though there's no big money in it, it's hard work, but that's what keeps me from being bored. There's always something different to do. So you got to find yourself. A last point, Maurice Healey, the Attorney General of Massachusetts, she settled a claim with Purdue Pharmacy for $26 billion. And that's what is needed because too often when people on the street level, homeless or whatever, they might have undiagnosed bipolar, ADHD, even schizophrenic to extreme. But they tend to self-medicate. So with this money she's getting for drug rehab and stuff, I think it's time we take a different approach and teaching people to do for themselves instead of having to rely on the system. Anyway, thanks for taking my call. Have a good day.
You're quite welcome. And thank you for bringing up the topic of ADHD. It's another thing that I'm going to do in my medical segment. So thank you so much, Joseph. I appreciate it. I had a good conversation with Tiffany Bacon, who is our interim program director, this morning. And one of the questions she asked me was, what are some of the things that you want to do? And I laid out for her the medical segment that I want to do. So ADHD, we're going to talk about menopause. We're going to talk about erectile dysfunction, the things that people don't want to touch. We're going to talk about, and then I'm going to do a relationship segment, not because she asked me to do it, but because you all asked me to do it. Every time I came on the air in the last year and a half and would talk about Mr. or my sons or anything around parenting and relationships, you have been emailing me and calling me and asking me to do a relationship segment. So in September, we will start that relationship segment. I just put it out to her this morning, letting her know that those are the two things that have been on my mind, and that will be in conjunction with the other things that we've been talking about, talking to young people, thinking about our health and wellness, making sure that education is a top priority for all of us, okay? All right, so let me go. Maurice, how are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing fine. How are you today?
I'm good, sir.
I heard
What's
you're
up?
going on a road trip, huh?
Oh, you gonna miss me?
Oh, you know I am. Matter of fact, I even packed my bag and realized I wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah. I did the Martha's Vineyard Film Festival a couple of years ago before COVID hit. And so this year, we're doing it way bigger. It's so much fun. But I'll be able to introduce you all to a lot of people. And that's where, sometimes I get all my national contacts and, from folks around the country and the world, because I love people. I love y'all. I'm going to miss you all, but I'm going to come back with some good stuff for you, okay?
Well, that's good, because once a year I used to go to Montreal for the Jazz Festival every year.
Yes.
That was my thing. I had planned on return. I was a citizen for 2 years in Montreal.
In Montreal, yeah.
Yeah, I was there. My grandmother got old, so I came home.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy Bass
Mm-hmm.
and Gautier.
Mm-hmm.
Nonsense. Number one, Miss Bass, who I like both the ladies. Don't get me wrong now.
Right.
But they belong to their club.
So wait a minute. So Cindy Bass spoke up about the state of emergency too?
No, she talked about giving them money away to death dealers.
What are you talking about?
To the people when they got all this money, they're supposed to give it to them to solve all the city's problems instead of the city handling it. They want to give it away to groups out in the street to handle it instead of them doing their job.
Okay, but Maurice, so I'm not one to stand in defense of city council for just about anything, right?
Right.
But I have to ask you this. What are they supposed to do? They can't solve it all by themselves. So shouldn't they be giving the money out to people in the communities who are able to do the work, or are you saying they're giving it to the wrong groups of people?
No, what I'm saying is they're not taking responsibility for their malfeasance.
So tell me what is responsibility for your quote unquote, these are your words, not mine, their malfeasance.
Their malfeasance is why in the city that's mostly black, we only have 2.5% black business.
Okay, so you want them to 2.5%. Okay.
Why in the city we don't have affordable housing for people? That's
affordable housing. Mm-hmm.
How come when we did have one black company that had business with City Hall, they canceled them out, which was a female that had a cleaning business, and gave it to a Chicago firm. This is the problem we have, is that we live here, but we're not treated as equal partners with the city. They're not putting the money in the business district. We have the worst schools. We don't have a elected school board. These are the problems that we have, and what do you think was going to happen? If there was no COVID, we would still be in the same situation. The thing I'm saying is the reason why Gautier, which I do appreciate that she did make a move, but the reason why she has to make a move, because right now I think she has the most murders in her district.
But that's what I'm saying. At least she opened up her mouth and said something. And, she could have easily stayed quiet. So,
yeah, but she had no choice.
Right. So, okay. So, all right. So here's my thing, Maurice. They're damned if they do, damned if they don't. What do you want them to do?
What I want them to do is do their job, which they haven't been doing. I keep telling you, what have they done for us in the last 5 years?
But, okay, so Gautier just got into city council. right? According to Prince, she's brand new and doesn't know what she's talking about. That's Prince's words, right? According to you, that she's not doing there. She's only speaking up because it's in her district. So what do y'all want? So the thing about leadership is we can't please everybody, right? So exactly, and the 2.5% black business in the community really comes about with not just city council, but all the corporations that are around that have been feeding money and social services to other places except where the black businesses are. The part of the issue is the fact that the black businesses are not set up properly. We need services where they can be set up properly so that they can gain access to some of the RFPs that are out here. You know, that kind of stuff is what I'm talking about. It sounds good in theory, but what are the pieces that need to be put in place to make sure we increase the black businesses? What are the pieces that need to be put in place to make sure we have affordable housing? I heard something a few weeks ago where they were talking about affordable housing, but when they talked about how much the housing costs, I'm like, well, how's that affordable, right? So if you're building quote unquote affordable housing and they start at $300,000-$400,000, how do you slash that for someone who can only afford to get a house for $100 and something thousand? How do you supplement that, subsidize that for them so that they can get into those housing that would be affordable to them? You see what I'm saying, Maurice?
What you're saying makes perfect sense, but that's what city council is supposed to do. They're not doing their job. They're supposed to handle that. They're supposed to have meetings with the public. They're supposed to have a black captains meeting where they would go to the recreation centers and the black captains that's in that area would send 1 or 2 representatives and they would talk and discuss what can we do to improve our neighborhood. You know,
but has that not been happening, Maurice? I'm asking you.
No, because I would be at the meetings because I go to all the meetings.
Okay.
It's not like I don't go to these things. I'm not sitting back talking. You know, in Southwest Philly, Charles was arguing earlier about how the city is nasty and how we don't take care of trash and how we don't wipe our butt, which he got ridiculous with. But what I'm saying is we have no trash cans in Southwest Philly on the street. There's no trash cans. So where are the people supposed to put the trash if you don't have no trash cans? Where are people supposed to go to the bathroom when there's no public bathrooms in the hood? The Wawa's and places and 7-Elevens, their bathrooms are always closed.
Right.
So when you put people in that kind of environment, how do you expect them to act?
Right. Gotcha.
You know, everybody want to snap their fingers and we should be doing this and we should be doing that. You want people to put a gun down. What are you going to offer them to put the gun down? You just can't say, hey, stop killing each other, but you don't have a job for them. Stop killing each other when you're not offering them any type of real education. How about some GE classes around in some of these playgrounds? How about some of that so they can at least get a head start? None of that stuff. Nobody putting a plan in action. Even if the plan don't work, at least put one in. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Try.
All right.
They're not trying. And do you see them trying?
I got you. I got you, my brother. I got you. I got to take a break, honey. I thank you for calling in because now I got to prepare myself. I got to plead to say a couple sick messiahs and label myself with oil because I got George next. You have a good one, okay?
You get what you asked for.
Right. Bye, Maurice. All right. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. We will be right back after these messages.
Hi, this is John.
Hi, this is Juanita, owners of JD's Auto Body and Painting. We're located at 6300 Wayne Avenue, right there at the intersection of Wayne and Washington Lane.
We really like to thank all you WURD listeners for the support that you've given our business, and we really hope to see you in the future.
JD, tell them about our products and services we have.
We have a new state-of-the-art paint shop along with our body shop and detail shop. We can help you with the dents and scratches from the winter season.
Come to JD's Auto Body and Painting. Come on out and check us out. We're still honoring that WURD 10% discount. Give us a call, 215-848-5949. Again, 215-848-5949.
Thanks again for supporting our business. We really appreciate you.
See you at JD's Auto Body and Painting.
So many times we say to ourselves, I need to make a difference. Well, your chance is here. Center in the Park is holding a virtual volunteer event Friday, August 6, 2021 from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Advocate for those who can't, support those who can, and ensure all long-term care residents live with dignity and respect. Register for this Ombudsman event at info@centerinthepark.org. We all feel better when we do something that matters and when we do something with purpose.
For the past 10 years, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 5 million students from low-income families to low-cost, high-speed internet. We're working with both nonprofit partners and city leaders to create over 1,000 Wi-Fi connected lift zones in community centers nationwide. And now we're committing $1 billion to reach 50 million people with the connectivity, skills, training, and the resources they need to succeed in a digital world. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy.
When we look around during this pandemic time, we have many things to consider with people with whom we are involved. A few of these things are religion, gender, politics, race. They're working or maybe not working. A lawyer to help with legal matters. Well, I tell you this, I gave myself an obituary party. I invited about 75 people, and the undertaker, I invited the undertaker to my party. Let me tell you what, we went to the hotel, we laughed, danced, had fun, and I explained why I gave myself this obituary party. What do you think about that? Would you give this kind of party for yourself? I tell you, it makes you feel so good to know that your family did not have to worry about certain important things while they're crying through their tears. I was celebrating my passing from this world while I am still living. That's called an obituary party.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDRadio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. I have said my prayers. I have called on the Lord. George, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, Andrea. How are you today?
I am good. What's going on?
Let me start with saying that we're going to deal with these prisons today.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I think that you're about the best one to deal with it. And I'm always fair. I always give them the heads up that, don't make me have to come after you for not doing your job.
Okay.
But anytime you have all those guards up there who are going to the hospital, 2 or 3 guards a day are going to the hospital for what? Inmates beating them up because they are understaffed. I mean, one guy ended up in he got knocked unconscious. Another guy got a concussion. I mean, this is something that goes on every day, Andrea. So this is what we're going to propose. Either the union straighten it out or the people at the top straighten it out. Not Blanche, but the people from Blanche down, they're going to get fired. Plain and simple as that.
So
I can't put no
things
places in that. They're going to lose their job.
So these things, let me ask you this. Is the stuff that you're telling me, is it substantiated?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't tell you anything that's not true. They're understaffed over about maybe, they'll say 400, but we'll say 7. It's really about 7, but they're about 400 understaffed, and they're not hiring because nobody wants a job. They're trying to bring people back that had left, had already retired. The way they treat those guards is ridiculous. The way management treats those guards, and let's say it like this here. Let's say a fight breaks out, and an inmate is beating up a guard, and another guard come and help that guard. They not only will suspend the guard, they with intent to dismiss, the fire. What kind of crap is that? I mean, so we're going to be fair about this, Andrea. What you're going to do is invite somebody from the prisons to come on and explain their side of the story. And
but I've invited folks from the prison. Nobody's showing up to talk to me. I'm telling you.
They will. Just reach out. They have no choice now.
Okay.
Just reach out. They're gonna be glad to tell their little line story, or they're gonna tell the truth. Because you know why? People's jobs are being threatened, and it's not the guards' jobs that's being threatened. It's management's jobs that's being threatened.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's not that there is a promise that they will lose their job. I don't care how long they've been there, what they think that they got some type of security. You're gone. You're not going to sit there and treat, staff because you management like they're dirt. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. Let me move on because, we got enough of that there. Andrea, now that Garland has come up with this task force, the federal government has come up with gun task force, which is just like the mayor's speech yesterday. Did you see that computerized
No,
speech
I
that
did
they
not.
had
My electricity went out.
Well, God bless you for it to go out. Because they had, you ever seen those electronic speeches, where your computer go ahead and you ask for certain data and the computer just prints out everything? Well, they had the police commissioner, which is brain dead, and they had the rest of her people who was more brain dead, and all they did was read off the thing, what the computer says, the statistic. The only people understood what they were saying was the police. I mean, everything they were saying was just so awkward and out. It was just stupid. Even the mayor didn't even know what it was about.
So George, I'm going to ask this again. Mayor Kenny has been under a ton of fire. I don't know how he didn't just tell y'all deuces and go about his business, because he has been under a ton of criticism from every angle. Tell me how you would want him to come out to the press conference, knowing what you know, that he has to have dot every I and cross every T, and that everybody is watching him to take off his head from city council all the way back and all the way to the other side. Tell me how you would have him come out and have that press conference.
I wouldn't have had him come out. I wouldn't even had a press conference.
Got it.
For what?
Got it.
I mean, ain't nothing nobody can do to him. Ain't nothing nobody can say to him. At the end of the day, he controls the purses. And you say something he don't like, he just makes sure you don't get no funding. Look at Gordier. She argued with the man who got all the money and got all the say. So now, West Philadelphia, you think they got nothing before? They
but see, when you say that to me, George, what that leaves me thinking about is petty leadership. We don't have time for petty leadership. People should be able to disagree with you as a leader and still make sure that they get what they need for their constituents. What you're describing is petty leadership.
For everything. Everything is a cost.
Oh, hell. See, that's why I don't run for office. This right here, why I don't run for office.
Right.
Because I can't do the dance because I'm afraid you're going to be petty and not do what you're supposed to do on behalf of the constituents. I can't do it.
Andrea, because you're not Fred Astaire or some ballet dancers, don't think the rest of them are not. It's 17 council people there, right? And at least 10 of them are professional dancers.
Listen, okay, George. All right, moving right along, because we got 3 minutes before I got to say goodbye.
Let me say
what else you want to add?
Let me say this here. You say, what you said about Gordier, remember this here. Gordier is there just to do as she's told. Nothing else. She only speaks when she's supposed to speak.
Okay. So this is why good people don't run for office, because if you think Gordier, if you think Gordier, and again, I don't know her, you all can corroborate this, I do not know Jamie Gordier. I don't. I've just been watching the city council members very quietly, right? So if you think she's being pulled and told what to do you think she did the wrong thing speaking up on behalf of her constituents? The crime in this city is out of control.
But listen, it's best to keep your mouth shut and have a person think you're a fool than open your mouth and remove all doubt. So she opened her mouth and she's going to pay for it.
Oh, God, George, I can't. I cannot. I cannot.
Let me
George.
ask you a question, Andrea, so we don't be on the wrong track. Do I ever tell you anything wrong?
So you and I both know, George, when I talk to you and I get off the phone, I go and I talk to people that I know would know, and to date, they have yet to tell me that you are wrong. And I mean, they're like, we hate to disagree with him, but he's sitting in certain rooms where he understands what is going on. What is happening, though, is that you're outing these people, and the folks that are on the air listening to you are thinking you're just holding a grudge. They don't realize the rooms that you're sitting in. And the other part that is that rubs people all upside down their head is that they want you to tell them, so if you know all these things, why aren't you saying who the crazy people are, and why aren't you helping them to find a solution to help save the city? See where I'm going
because
with this, George?
most of them get over $100,000 a year. You elected them to office, right? And you know what you got when you got it. It ain't no secret. All these elected officials, they know exactly what they do. They know who the buck dancers are.
Right. So then,
George,
do you have a solution for all of this?
It depends on what situation you're talking about.
I'm saying, George, you've been calling here for a year and a half with 1,000 situations. Oh, God.
And you know what? Every time I tell you what the situation is and what the solution is, you always got some troll come on with some crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know what it takes to solve the problem. Just like Garland going to come in here, they're going to send the government in here for them guns and everything, and ain't nothing going to happen.
Okay.
Now, one thing.
All right. Thank you, my brother. It's 2:55. I got to go to station break before they have my head. I'll catch up with you soon. Father. It is one thing for you all to know the information. It is quite another for you to say exactly what we can do about it. There's a lot going on here. And make no mistake about it, there's a lot going on in every city, every urban city in this country. There's a lot of bad leadership everywhere. And so we have to be very mindful about who we choose when we're pushing those ballot buttons. Who are we choosing to put into leadership? Because, Father, you are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. We will be right back after these messages.
Join WURD for the Summer of Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour. This year, we celebrate West Oak Lane, Mantua, North, West, and South Philly. I'm Tiffany Bacon. I will broadcast live from a different neighborhood each Friday from 10 a.m. until 12 noon. Our next stop is Penrose Playground, 1101 West Susquehanna Avenue, Friday, July 23rd. Enjoy a special feature on the Summer Olympics, meet special guests, and stand with WURD. Be a part of the movement to amplify the voice of the Black community. Show your support and join or renew your 4WURD membership on site. That's the Summer of Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour at Penrose Playground from 10 a.m. until 12 noon. WURD, showing love this summer.
The WURD Radio Neighborhood Love Tour is sponsored by Comcast and supported by Pico, Keystone First, Ready Set Philly, and Hope Partnership for Education.
Hi, this is Samantha from Leo's Apparel on Germantown and Lehigh Ave. Open from 9:30 to 5:30 Monday through Saturday. We have the hottest selection of boys' dress suits and casual sportswear for boys sizes 2T to 20. Men, let me tell you, we got in a large shipment of straws from Stetson. We have new linen and dress suits. Biggest selection of Stacey Adams shoes. Get an extra WURD 10% discount.
What's up, Philly? It's Solomon. With so much uncertainty surrounding the upcoming school year, now is the time to take charge of your child's education and give them the tools to make learning fun and safe. Check out Commonwealth Charter Academy, which can make a difference in your child's life. Commonwealth Charter Academy, or CCA, is a K-12 public cyber charter school with nearly 20 years of experience providing a flexible, stable, online education in the comfort of your home. Enroll today at ccaeducate.me. Your child will receive 1. A world-class accredited education streamed directly into your home at no cost to you. 2. A laptop, headphones, assistance with accessing the internet, and learning materials all provided at no cost to you. 3. A safe learning environment with no bullying or security concerns. Join the nearly 2,500 students from Philly who already attend CCA. The school year begins September 8th. Enroll now at ccaeducate.me.
Star Fusion Express is Philly's first choice when cravings for big, juicy burgers, crispy chicken sandwiches, delicious wings, crisp salads, creamy mac and cheese, innovative spring rolls, and delectable fresh seafood kicks in. Did you hear that? Star Fusion Express at 5178 Parkside Avenue in West Philly is your go-to for fresh, flavorful, homemade deliciousness 7 days a week. Learn more and check out the menu at starfusionrestaurant.com. That's starfusionrestaurant.com for the best burgers, chicken sandwiches, wings, salads, spring rolls, and fresh seafood creations in Philly's Parkside neighborhood. Holla!
This is WURD Radio.
96.1 FM.
And 900 AM WURD Philadelphia.
Black Talk Media.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. I ran out of moringa tea between Maurice and George. Lord have mercy. Harold Williams says, Father, please give mother strength to deal with us. Amen, Harry. Amen. This is crazy. And there's no sugar in my tea. And I'm just sitting over here going, Father, there's so much going on. And what I'm trying to get us to do is to not only talk about the solutions, but then start to implement some of it. Because if city council is giving money to the organizations that are actually going to do the work, isn't that part of the solution, y'all? Can we do anything right? I mean, I don't know. Miss Viola from Delaware, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
What's going on?
Laughing storm between the statement you made about all the men that call. Where's the ladies at? I said, well, let me call and tell them that maybe they need somebody in their life and they won't have to call and make all these passes at Andrea and keep her rolling all the time. They
wear me out, Miss Viola. They wear me out.
I said, she has a husband like my husband was. He was not jealous at all. And we would go to a party. He would be in one room and I'd be in the other room.
Yes, that is my husband. I'm telling you. You would never think we came in together.
They would come to my house just for him to serve them the baked beans that he made from scratch.
Oh.
And I tell you, and most of my friends, some had a boyfriend, but very few of them had husbands.
Mm-hmm.
So we got along well, and my husband let me go wherever I wanted to go because I knew what my limits were.
Yes,
but
yes,
at the same token, they either need to travel or they need to find somebody to travel with. But see, I'm designated driver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, I was in a rollover car accident with someone that had sleep apnea, and I didn't know what sleep apnea did.
Wow.
And from that day on, we rolled in my little HHR from the 13 north side all the way over to the 13 south side in Virginia. And I came out with just a ache in my arm, a sprain in my arm. But I tell you, I cleaned my fur coat off because I thought it had gasoline on it, but it was honey. I cleaned it up with alcohol. And I still wear it, but I'm going to tell you, I'm designated driver. I will drive by myself or someone can go with me within reason. But based on the fact that I just get tickled when they start calling, especially Woody. When Woody called, I said, oh, my gosh. Poor Woody. I said, God bless him, because I tell you, because Cody was good friends with him, and I would listen to him on the radio, talking back and forth and all. And I guess they miss Cody just as much as I miss Cody, because Cody was just a person that was all around that you could talk to all the time.
Yes,
and listen to, the show that he was on with Vicky. But I get so tickled when they call you up, and when you made the comment, where are the women? Well, I said, I guess I better call. Listen, as you say, call Tyrone. I guess I better call
Mama.
But I guess this is your last day, so I won't have to rush back and hit my Facebook page unless you FaceTime or something on your Facebook page while you're traveling.
Yes, you've got to come over there and see, because I do a lot of live updates on my Facebook page when I am traveling, because I want you all to experience what I am experiencing.
I have a bicycle, but I don't have a $700 or $800 bicycle. But if I could, I surely would come up there and ride at least once with you, because I could do it whether I did it or not. And based on the fact of my age and my size,
No, let me tell you, there's a guy in our riding group, Viola, that is 80 years old, rides faster and harder than all of us. In fact, he thinks we're slow, and he goes another 15, 20 miles out than where we would go. Trust me when I tell you. Right?
Okay.
And that's a cycling group that was,
He's probably from the Mount Airy area, because I remember seeing a guy that always rode a bicycle in the Mount Airy area when I was there. And I happened to see him maybe a month or so ago, and I said, oh, my goodness, he's still riding.
Oh, yeah. These people are avid riders. This is a group, a cycling group formed by a Trinidadian dude. I loved him, Eric. And we just haven't been riding with them because COVID and all this other stuff that started, and we got sidetracked there. But this guy, when we would get out to the trail at 6 o'clock in the morning, he would have already been an hour ahead of us. And he would have gone another 15, 20 miles, and we would see him on our way back. I mean, it's amazing. 80 years old, riding harder. So don't let your age stop you. I'm trying to tell you. I want to be 80 and riding my bicycle like that.
Well, I guess I'm not too late. But I'm going to tell you, I like the idea of what you are going to be bringing to WURD. I mean, you have done a fantastic job, not that no one else has, but you have been so different based on the subject matters. Yes. And the things that you're talking about coming back with, oh, my goodness.
You all are not ready in these Wakandan streets.
I'm ready for it because you could just add a little breast cancer in there for October.
Yes, well, wait, I'm putting that in. Okay, all right, I'm writing that in my notes. Yep, we're going to talk about breast cancer. Yep.
And put me on your list because I will tell anything and everything that I know about as far as being a breast cancer survivor.
Yep, and I have people living with metastatic breast cancer now that are just buying time, that all the money in the world. So this is why health and wellness has been such a strong strand. As you see me talking on the show, I'm telling you, there's a reason why this show is called The Source for me. It is the source where we find our solutions. It is the source where we plug in to make sure that we get all we need for our health and wellness. As African Americans, as people of color, we are traumatized daily, and that trauma leads to all sorts of things. I met a young lady on my hiking tour, a couple of Sundays ago, who had a brain tumor, was pregnant with her child, gave birth to the child. They took the baby out of her arm, told her to bond with the baby. She's 30-something years old, by the way. Tumor on the whole right side of her face, messed her up. She was in the hospital for over a year. Her husband was the one that took care of the baby, and so that she hiked with us that day, 11 miles. So when we want to fuss and complain about certain things, she said all she kept thinking about was her will to live. And the tumor came from stress. So when I tell you we need, when I sit here and I laugh and I engage with all of you, when I'm trying to get you to see the other side, and I'm trying to get you to not always talking about what's so wrong all the time. When we only see negative things, we are building up something in our psyche and our brain and our bodies that cause harm. And so I'm constantly having the conversation around, yes, we're traumatized, but what are the good things that we can do as a people? If it's not church, if it's, for me, it's traveling. For you, it might be something else. You understand what I'm saying, Miss Viola?
I have a number of things on my list between going and sitting still and staying in my house now. But I tell you, my 38-year breast cancer survivor, I would not have maybe survived if I had continued to smoke. And I
see what I mean?
That mine was based on stress. Because I stressed myself when my mother passed away. I was 33 years old when my mother passed away. So therefore, it's 38 years that I've been a breast cancer survivor and had a baby 2 years later. I have a 35. She'll be 36 years old in August. And I believe stress. My oldest daughter winded up with shingles, and she was 48 years old.
Yes, I'm telling you, we let too much bother us, Miss Viola. And I tell folks all the time, learn how to cut people off in Jesus' name. This is what I want you all to say to people. When you see that they're becoming toxic in your life, walk right over to them and say, sweetie, I thank you for the part that you played in my journey. Now I must go. Go about your business. Seriously.
Your diet and stress is two of the main culprits in a lot of young people's life. They're worried about whether they can have a boyfriend or they don't have anybody in their life. They're in there, and their biological clocks are ticking, and they don't have any children, and they are just stressed out because of the everyday things of life and wind up. I've never heard of so many young women on high blood pressure medicine, and I tell you, something's wrong with that also. But the doctors like writing prescriptions. And the pharmaceuticals are paying big money to the senators and the Congress.
Miss Viola, we're going to talk about all of that. I promise you. I promise you, we're going to talk about all of that, okay?
Have a great journey as you start, and I am so thankful to talk to you. And those men out there, they better go find them something.
All right, Miss Viola, talk to you
Bye-bye.
soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So, Elias, how are you?
I'm always fine, praise the Lord.
What can I do for you, sir?
I'm glad you said that. What can you do for me? Because I need some help here.
Okay.
Who can we reach out to regarding all gangster rappers, Latino gangster rappers?
So, Elias, I would say reach out to somebody in the music industry, because if they're not, go ahead.
Hold on. Political leaders have speed dial to these entertainers. Now, you know who has the speed dial for Jay-Z? Do you know? I know.
No.
Mayor Kenny.
Okay.
Because he's in association with Made in America.
Mm-hmm.
And they all sit on the table and plan out how that is made, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z has a big percentage of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we need somebody politically, even Al Reverend Sharp and someone, if you can reach out to them to come up with the idea and get in all gangster rappers, the Cardi B, the Latino gangster rappers, all those people to come up with a campaign as an urgency to fight gun violence and drug violence, crime, and coming up with commercials in radio stations that only promote the glorification of crime, okay? And make commercials, because you see the commercials in those other radio stations. It says you need a lawyer, you fell,
oh my God,
you need a car, 0 credit down, it's yourself a Mercedes, okay? So we as taxpayers can tell the city, put some money and pay these radio stations just to show an example and see if they're going to be involved in fighting this crime by having someone like Meek Mills, Jay-Z, all who talks about the glorification of what drugs they sold, the crack they sold, et cetera, to tell them, boys and girls, stay in school, respect your parents, have morals, do not get involved in drug dealing, do not get involved with drugs and degrading women and calling each other the N-word. You know what's going to happen? They're going to pass on that because it defeats the agenda of what they're putting out on the radio stations to our children. Mind you, our children come from dysfunctional homes with bad behaviors, okay? So accountability means pointing the finger at people who are creating all this crime and drug dealing behavior, okay? And that's the adults that are raising these children in our communities, the Black and Latino communities, that need to be called out and finger point on them. Just like we point fingers at the city, at the government, because the government is predominantly controlled by white people, white government. That's what, you know what I'm saying? So let's do these type of things, putting people out in the forefront to help us fight crime and send a message to our young people who only glorify these entertainers.
All right. Thank you so much.
Number two.
Thank you. Wait, there's more?
Yeah, I got one more thing. Today I have an autistic kid who, well, he's not a kid, he's a grown man. He's 30 years old. But I pick up his caretaker before I go to work all the time. And I went to the corner store, which I do not, bodega stores, beer delis, and those stores, I'm not their regular customer. But my son needed juice. So I went in there, okay, and I'm going to report them. This lady quickly gave a blunt wrapper to a teenager in a hoodie. And I looked at her and shook my head because she knows me, okay? And I'm reporting them. See, and these organizations, these Latino Dominican association, business associations, these Chinese, Asian business associations, they have been preying on our people's addiction for the past 38 years. Crime will never go in our communities as long as we allow and patronize these people and not call them out. When you get a chance, ask them why they sell these drug
Oh, you know what? That is okay. Yeah, Cindy Bass, I think, was trying to work on that. Thank you, Elias.
No,
thank you for calling.
Hello.
Yeah.
Cindy Bass has Cindy Bass. No, I spoke with Cindy Bass. Weak bill that they had. Okay, she ain't trying to do nothing because that's revenue. That's called revenue. Okay.
Okay.
So they're not trying to set no standards or bill or legislation. Because I told them we need to regulate the legislation for these people. Close their damn stores at 8 o'clock at night, man.
Okay.
Not no 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And another
8 p.m.
thing, my man Maurice, he's the best. I love him, but I got 2 disagreements I want to make with him. One,
Elias.
He's my man. Here's two before I leave. Please.
Okay, hurry up, Elias. Go ahead.
Our problems with our people in our community, they had bad behaviors. There's no trash can. That's a bunch of you know what, okay? It's behavior. It's morals. It's having consideration to keep the community clean, okay? These young people and these adults, look at them. They throw trash all around. They're not marching. Those same people aren't marching at City Hall fighting for more cans in their community so they won't throw trash. They nonchalantly throw trash out. And another thing, drug dealing. He said another thing that people can't get jobs, so they got to do what's got to do. No, you cannot market that. That's bad, okay? Drug dealing completely is bad, okay?
All right. Thank you, Elias. Bye-bye, honey. Thank you for calling in. Lord Jesus, you all are going to make me run out of here. Stark raving mad at the end of this session. So if you see me playing with my face, let me tell you, menopause is the devil. My face is nice and clear and clean. I have no makeup on. Just don't do it. And I touch the side of my chin. I'm going, what is this? Oh, my gosh. I must feel like 2 or 3 little things on my chin. This is terrible, y'all. Somebody, if I could just get Eve and that garden and that apple, I'd slap the hell out of her for making us go through all of this stuff. So now I've got to go pluck 10 hairs when this is all said and done because it's disconcerting. I keep playing with it. Anyway, we have a guest coming up at 3:20, Chakima Fulmore Townend, president and CEO of PYN. And so we're going to talk about some work-ready summer 2021 highlights, program innovations and pivots, and their customer service lesson center. I'm looking forward to that conversation. And then at 3:40, we're going to have Dr. Anuli Emparu to talk about the COVID-19 updates because it's changing, y'all. I don't know if you all are noticing this, but it is changing. So let's see. Let me finish this piece right here. Death by 100 cuts, the state of voting rights in America. I need you all to pay attention. For those of you who are thinking that the voting rights are always going to be here, things are happening. Voting rights have been in the headlines for months. Many states are passing new laws around the right to vote, and there is a recent Supreme Court ruling that we found interesting. This was KYW News Radio, by the way, that we found interesting out of Arizona for the effect it could have on people being able to cast ballots. Dr. Susan Leibel, professor of political science at St. Joseph University, joins KYW Radio in depth to break down the Bronovic versus the DNC and the state of voting rights in America. So you're going to want to pay attention to that. Let me see. Doctor discusses links between gun violence and food insecurity. Ayana Jones from the Tribune staff wrote this piece. As a trauma surgeon, Dr. Randy Smith's academic career has focused on social determinants of health and identifying the root causes. Michael, all right, let me take Kathy. Kathy, are you there?
Drea, it is such an honor to speak with you.
Hello.
I have been trying to connect with you for the longest, but is always at work and just can't, steal a few minutes time away to give you a call. But I absolutely love and admire you. You are a phenomenal woman. When I grow up, and I'm 63 years old now, when I grow up, oh my gosh, it's a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That is just, that is one of the sweetest things someone has ever said to me. What can I do for you today? Huh?
It's the God's honest truth, because I tried to get out to Fresh Grocer when you guys were out there live, but I had to go to work. I couldn't do it. I had to go to work.
Yeah. What can I do for you today, madame?
I don't want you to do anything for me today. I'm just basking in the fact that I was able to get you on the phone live.
Oh, that is so... You know what? I am hoping that each day that I am on the air, that something is given to you that will give you joy, that will bring joy to your soul, will give you something to think about as you help someone else as you travel along on your journey, and for you to show love no matter where you are. And last but not least, that you're to take care of your mental and physical health. I hope every time you listen to this radio station and you hear my voice, that these are the things that you take away from this show. Okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate you. God bless you.
Yes,
and I look
ma'am.
forward to talking with you again soon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for taking the time to call. All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, Mike, that was just so nice. That was so nice, Michael. That was so nice. Oh, my gosh. Somebody that called and didn't want anything but just to say hello. Father! Kathy saved all your souls. Oh, my God. Maurice is typing. Michael is typing, so I'll just wait for him. I am going to. Michael said, you better not cry. I will not cry, Michael. I will not cry. I love people, though. I really love people, which is why traveling and moving about is so important to me. So y'all better come follow me on Facebook. I don't, I think I'm almost at my limit for my friends for page, but you can follow me without having to friend request me. So that's fine. So you can get to see, and any videos that I put up will be public so that everybody can see it, okay? I want you all to explore the world through my eyes and experience what I'm getting ready to experience in this next month. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, I am Andrea Lawful Sanders, and we will be right back after these messages.
Between family dinners, bedtime stories, and study sessions, Pico knows that life never stops moving. So if your energy bills are adding up, Pico has programs available, like new payment options, flexible billing, and financial assistance to help you manage your bills and your budget for the essential energy you and your family need. Learn how Pico can help keep your life moving with payment arrangements. See if you qualify at pico.com/help.
Hey, WURD family, did you hear? It's official. The Colorectal Cancer Alliance just announced the new age for colon cancer screenings has been officially lowered to age 45 for everyone. If you are 45 or older, it's time to get screened. Go to WURDradio.com and click on the Go to Know banner to register for your free at-home screening test. Did you know colon cancer is largely preventable with on-time screening? And there's a 90% survival rate when caught early. African Americans are 20% more likely to get colon cancer and about 40% more likely to die from it than most other groups. So for the next 3 months, you can go to WURDradio.com and click on the Go to Know banner for your free at-home screening test. A screening navigator will contact you to ask a few questions and help you get screened. It's that simple. Again, just go to WURDradio.com, click on the Go to Know banner, and fill out the form to request your free at-home screening test. Go to Know today.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you Mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Are you looking to hire diverse talent? WURD has got you covered. We just launched a brand new job portal to help connect you with diverse talent in Philadelphia and beyond. If you would like to have your jobs featured on our job portal, give us a call at 215-425-7875 or send us an email at sales@wordradio.com. Check out the job portal today on our livelihood website at wordworks.com. That's WURDworks.com and click jobs.
The Word Radio newsletter, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. Sign up by visiting wordradio.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and type your email address under Connect with Us. You'll receive the latest information on Word Radio. Messages from our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese. Exclusive articles and multimedia content and resources. Stay informed with the Word Radio newsletter.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. I see quite a bit of conversation going on in the Facebook chat about what we don't own as Black people in our communities. And so they're talking about the fact that the Harry Williams said, nah, bro, the Asian got a powerful business association. Ka Sahusara said, I agree, Harry. We have nothing in our dark hoods that we run and own, and that's why the city and developers can come in and just push us aside. We have nothing in the dark hoods of our own. And then Ka Sahusara Sarah said the only thing we own are barbershops and hair salons, and we should own our eateries, restaurants, but they got that from us, and we eat Chinese food. Shaking my head. Yesterday evening with my husband and I, he said, come on, let's go. Let me get you out the hot house. We went to for a drive, and we saw lines and lines of people hanging out the Chinese store trying to find something to eat. So, yeah, but we need more things in our communities. This is why when we see a place like Star Fusion Express at 5178 Parkside, we want to support our folks wherever they show up. Breakfast Boutique had several locations in northwest section of Philadelphia on Chestnut Hill and on Broad Street. You know, intentionally seek out those businesses. If we are so concerned about supporting our Black businesses, then intentionally seek them out to support them whenever they show up. Don't just, let them fall apart. So what else is going on? I'm waiting for my next guest to show up. So, as a trauma surgeon, Dr. Randy Smith's academic career has focused on social determinants of health and identifying the root causes that lead to gun violence and injury. Smith and her research team at Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia, assessed that 1,700 patients treated by the medical institution for gunshot wounds during a 7-year period and found a significant link between food insecurity and gun violence. The researchers mapped out hot spots in Atlanta where gun violence was concentrated and looked at census tract data where there were food deserts, areas where there was a low-medium household income and far distance between homes and grocery stores. We found that the two maps of gun violence and food insecurity overlap so intimately, almost like a snug glove, Smith said, during a virtual panel discussion hosted Tuesday by Babashi Transition to Hope, a Philadelphia nonprofit organization. And it makes sense. Food insecurity and gun violence share many of the risk factors of poverty, a deep-seated systemic marginalization of racism, housing insecurity, poor education, and the list goes on and on. The things that wrap into food insecurity are low median household incomes and just lack of access, said Smith, who used to live in Philadelphia. Those are the same risk factors that lead to gun violence. It's not a cause and effect. It's more so that we need to get to the root causes and go upstream, and that's how we're going to attack all these different crises that our communities are seeing. When she and other researchers ask people if they have access to food, they'll often say yes, even though it's not nutritious. So that's also another factor, Smith said. If you go into some communities of color, you see nothing but fast food restaurants. They're cheap and they do provide some sustenance, but it's actually not nutritious. It's not going to keep people healthy. Smith seeks to partner with local organizations like Babashi that addresses food insecurity as a potential opportunity to curb gun violence or impact how people recover after injury. Babashi offers a food pantry where clients, wait, I just lost my thing. Where clients can select fresh fruits, vegetables, meats, and non-perishable items. The panel discussion comes as Philadelphia had 308 homicides for the year, according to police department data as of Tuesday morning. City Council member Jamie Gauthier, Democrat 3rd District, highlighted the importance of using the data provided by Smith to provide better services for the community. From a public official's perspective, we need to use this data to help provide better services and access in our Black and brown communities where we have a lot of insecurity, she said. I think that some of the things that we can use this data to do is to make more capital available for our availability to create better food options within communities. We can be more aggressive about trying to attract operators in changing some of the stereotypes that they may have around our neighborhoods. Obviously, we have to invest in violence prevention and violence interruption on a short-term basis, but beyond that, we need to be working to better fully change the trajectory of the lives of the individuals who are considered high risk, said Gaudier, who is calling on Mayor Jim Kenney to declare gun violence emergency in Philadelphia. We've talked about, the fact that there aren't supermarkets for miles and miles around. So part of the issue is trying to attract the supermarket owners to bring their stores into the neighborhoods. But we need them. We absolutely need them because they're right. Food insecurity. If you go to the Chinese store and you get and I'm just using that as an example. I'm not singling out Chinese restaurants, but if you go to a fast food restaurant and you get an egg roll or you get fried chicken and you get mac and cheese or whatever it is, those things over time are not sustaining, and it makes your body crave more. The other thing that I want you to be all very aware of are those fruit trucks that are all over the city where they're selling the juices, the fruit smoothies, and etc. When you walk up to those fruit trucks to buy your different kinds of smoothies, be very careful to tell them not to add sugar. Sugar is being added oftentimes to your smoothies, and so you want to tell them that the clear liquid white sugar syrup is being added to make it sweeter. So there are things that are happening to our, even though it's supposed to be healthy for us, that are not healthy for us. And I know this because it happened to me when I was going to buy a smoothie, and I noticed that she was putting sugar, syrup, and I was like, don't add sugar. That's why my thing is so sweet. And I stopped going. I just stopped going because it's just better to go into the market and buy a piece of fruit, wash it off properly, and stick it in your mouth and eat it because there's nothing else to add to it. These are the things that are making us sick. Michael, when she gets into the Zoom link, because we only have a short period of time now, we literally have 9 minutes to interview her, should she get in anytime soon. So, so we'll just do that. But we want to, Joseph Simmons says Jeff Brown shut down his Haverford Avenue location and nearly destabilized the entire community. Linda Shields says, good morning. This morning on Solomon's Mecca, when she comes in, just click her right in, please, because I literally am on borrowed time now. This morning on Solomon's show, Renee Shanat Fatah brought on a brother named Terrell, thank you, who has an app, Milk Create. They help to clean up and dry areas, and afterwards they have a celebration that they pay you to clean up your own area. There's one thing happening this weekend, I believe. Go and listen to Renee Chanel. I can't see. I love you all, but I can't go back and listen to other people's show because I've got a lot of things going on. So once I get off the air, I love that you all tell me these things that are going on in the different shows, but I don't have the bandwidth or the time to go back and listen to hours and hours of shows. I don't have it. So I thank you for letting me know. This person is saying thank you to Brother Terrell. All right. Let me see what else is going on. Oh, God. It's now 3:33. Michael, not there yet. So if this person doesn't get on by 3:35, we're literally going to have only 5 minutes to interview her, and I really would like to get something in. Well, I don't know what to tell you, so I'll just keep going. Nicole Newman says, we have the biggest issue with supporting blacks in business. We create excuses, then run to the Chinese restaurant. The mistrust that we have in each other is so sad. That's a real issue, too. That is a real issue, too. What else did I want to read here while I'm waiting for this? This is crazy. KYW News Radio again. Man accused of fatally stabbing trans woman, dismembering her body, heads to trial. Father. A Philadelphia man. It was written by Kristen Johansson. KYW News Radio. A Philadelphia man accused of stabbing and butchering a transgender woman and dumping her body in and along the Schuylkill River will head to trial. At a preliminary hearing on Tuesday, the judge expressed shock at the brutality of the allegations. Last summer, Dominique Remy Fells, who was 27, yes, I know some of her family members, who was stabbed 40 times throughout the head and body. Her torso was found in the river 2 days later, and her legs were nearby wrapped in green plastic and tossed in a trash bag. Prosecutors believe the killing happened on June 6, 2020, and that it was at the hands of Akhenaton Jones, 37. They called the witness who was in Jones' apartment on Powelton Avenue. He said he hung out with the pair before Jones asked for private time with Fells. The witness said he went upstairs to another apartment to wait for his friend. About 40 minutes later, he came back downstairs and he smelled like natural gas coming from Jones' apartment. When he went back in, he saw the bedroom wall splattered with blood, all the stovetop knobs turned up, and Jones talking angrily on the phone while emptying a gun clip. The man said he ran out, terrified. Prosecutor Chelsea Lightsey said the victim's DNA was on a knife and an angle saw found in Jones' apartment. My God. And Jones's DNA was on the knife and a white hazmat suit found covered in blood. Prosecutors say they also found green wrapping in the apartment that the material used to wrap Fells' legs. So he done did all of this stuff and then left all the evidence behind. Not a smart one, are we? We also believe her legs were cut from the torso after the fact, said Lightsey. We don't believe that was something happening the night of the homicide. It was more this defendant's attempt to dispose of the body so that it wouldn't be found. Judge James DeLeon held Jones on all charges, which include murder, abuse of corpse, and tampering with evidence. Jones is next due in court on August 10th. After seeing the grisly pictures, DeLeon quietly remarked, "That poor girl." Damn. We gotta take care of our people, man. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. Let me see what else is going on. The New York Times morning. I'm so accustomed. I used to love reading their stuff, but I've gotten so busy. Y'all have kept me so busy. Joseph Simmons says, Mother, can we work on unionizing, organizing our black barbers and beauticians? As if you don't have enough on your plate. I have 30 years in union barber law. And how about you help me to work on unionizing and organizing our black barbers? Joseph Simmons. Oh, baby, this is a lot. Okay, well, let's see. I do know a few barbers, and they're good, too. These barbers are amazing. So let's see. I know you can't listen to all the shows, Mother, but this information is for the Facebook Word listeners. Oh, thank you. We love and appreciate you, Mother, but don't get burnt out. We need you. We also need to do for self. So I was just putting, thank you, Lynn. Appreciate you, darling. Mother appreciates you. Lord. COVID-19, this was written by David Leonard from the New York Times. I love their summaries every morning. They give a good summary every morning. So COVID-19 has caused the largest decline in U.S. life expectancy since World War II, the federal government reported on Wednesday. But COVID is not the only reason that life expectancy in this country fell last year to its lowest level in almost 2 decades. Even before the pandemic, the United States was mired in an alarming period of rising mortality. It had no modern precedent. During the second half of the 2010s, life expectancy fell on a sustained basis for the first time since the fighting of World War II killed several 100,000 Americans. It is hard to imagine a more alarming sign of society's well-being than an inability to keep its citizens alive. While some of the reasons are mysterious, Others are fairly clear. American society has become far more unequal than it used to be, and the recent increases in mortality are concentrated among working-class Americans, especially those without a four-year college degree. For many, daily life lacks the structure, status, and meaning that it once had, as the Princeton University economists Ann Case and Angus Deaton have explained. Many people feel less of a connection to an employer, a labor union, a church, or community groups. They are less likely to be married. They are more likely to endure chronic pain and to report being unhappy. These trends have led to a surge of deaths of despair, a phrase that Case and Deaton coined, from drugs, alcohol, and suicide. Other health problems, including diabetes and strokes, have surged among the working class. Notably, the class gaps in life expectancy seem to be starker in the U.S. than in most other rich countries. Part of it is the food we eat, I'm telling you. COVID, of course, has aggravated the country's health inequalities. Working class Americans were more likely to contract severe versions of COVID last year for a mix of reasons. Many could not work from home. Others received lower quality medical care after getting sick. Michael, I see that. Let her in for me, please, quickly. Quickly, Michael. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So I literally I'm going to try and figure this out because I had from 2:30 to 2:40 to chat with you, and then I had someone else coming on at 2:40. So I'm going to ask Michael. Can you don't leave? Michael, can you have Brianna reach out to Dr. Emparu, give her or regrets, and tell her that I will talk to her next week, please? Can you do that for me? And then what?
You had 2:30. They told me 3:20 to 3:40.
I'm sorry, 3. That's fine. That's what I meant. 3:20. Sorry, that's me.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I want to be here. That's
me. Okay, thank you, Michael. So we're going to cancel. We're going to put Dr. Emparu. We're going to cancel her so I can have this brief conversation with you before the show ends at 4. Is that all right?
That works for me if it still works for you.
It does work for me. So hold on one second. Let me take a quick break, and then we'll be back with Shakima Fulmore Townsend. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. We will be right back after these messages.
For the past 10 years, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 5 million students from low-income families to low-cost, high-speed internet. We're working with both nonprofit partners and city leaders to create over 1,000 Wi-Fi connected lift zones in community centers nationwide. And now we're committing $1 billion to reach 50 million people with the connectivity, skills, training, and the resources they need to succeed in a digital world. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
The Broad Street line.
Norristown High Speed line.
I ride the bus.
I ride the trolley. Ursula Linea Azul.
Take all of them. All of them. All of them. Into, out of, and all around the city.
SEPTA is the hometown way to go.
Plan your trip at iSEPTAPhilly.com.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Join WURD for the Summer of Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour. This year, we celebrate West Oak Lane, Mantua, North, West, and South Philly. I'm Tiffany Bacon. I will broadcast live from a different neighborhood each Friday from 10 a.m. until 12 noon. Our next stop is Penrose Playground, 1101 West Susquehanna Avenue, Friday, July 23rd. Enjoy a special feature on the Summer Olympics, meet special guests, and stand with WURD. Be a part of the movement to amplify the voice of the Black community. Show your support and join or renew your 4WURD membership on site. That's the Summer of Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour at Penrose Playground from 10 a.m. until 12 noon. WURD, showing love this summer.
The WURD Radio Neighborhood Love Tour is sponsored by Comcast and supported by PICO, Keystone First, Ready Set Philly, and Hope Partnership for Education.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. In this final segment today, we have Shakima Fulmore-Townend, President and CEO of PYN. She's an energetic thought leader focused on driving transformation in poverty and inequity for youth and young adults. I'm not even going to go any further into this because, Lord, we have 6 minutes left and we want to talk about the Work Ready Summer 2021 highlights. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm glad to be here, and it's a pleasure to join you and the listeners.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. So let me make sure that I open this up so I can talk to you. All right, so tell us what is YPN for folks who don't know what it is, and then tell us about what you've been doing there.
Sure. So the Philadelphia Youth Network is a nonprofit organization that helps young people to explore their career interests, to practice workplace skills, to meet adults who care about their future goals, and to help them apply what they're learning to their career journey. And we do that with summer jobs. We do that with jobs after school during the school year. And we do that with programs and services to help young people succeed.
Right, so this is the PYN. I said YPM with my little dyslexic self. PYN, Philadelphia Youth Network. So tell us about your summer 2021 highlights.
Well, this summer has been a journey, and so I definitely want to underscore and thank all of our partners, the young people and their families for their trust and their participation. It has definitely been a challenge to return to in-person work experiences this summer. We've tried a lot of different things. We had to because work has changed, and that means summer employment had to change as well. And so we really focused on keeping the process streamlined, but also using technology. And what we've learned so far is that people need help to use technology. So we have a call center. People need help because they're not in school every day, or they were not in school every day. They weren't in the programs every day. And so people needed help to find their services. So we launched a program locator. The whole process to apply was done online this year, and that has its opportunities and its obstacles. Digital literacy and like understanding how to use the different tools continues to be a challenge that we're facing. And then we're focused on financial literacy because we want young people to earn money, but we want them to be smart about how they use money. And so that is an additional highlight this summer.
All right. And how many youth, young people did you serve this summer?
So our goal is to serve 8,000 young people, and we are not there yet. Young people have applied, and so we do have more young people that have applied. Over 10,000 young people have applied. Wow. And we are currently working to connect them. One of our biggest challenges is having open businesses to take them. And so we are also, that's a major challenge that we are experiencing this summer. Businesses are not fully open. They are not at 100% capacity with their staff. And when you have less staff at the work sites, that's less adults to supervise young people.
Absolutely.
So it's causing delays. I guess what I would want families to hear is if you've applied and you haven't been placed yet, I know that that is a challenge. We are taking responsibility for that and trying to move it as fast as we can, but we have to make sure you have safe places to conduct your employment, and that has been more challenging this year than any year before.
And it's going to continue to be a challenge for a little while to come. So yes, our families, we're asking for a little bit of patience because we want to make sure your young charges are safe above all else. All right, so how do you get involved if you're a community member?
If you're a community member, you can go to workready.org. That's WORK, ready, READY.org. And there's a ton of resources. You just click get involved, and that will start the process. If you want to host a young person, if you're a young person and you still want to apply, that's the same way that you get into the process. Everything is in one-stop shop.
Workready.org. Let me tell you something. You did this in 4 minutes. I am so impressed. How long have you been the president and CEO of PYN?
I've been at the organization for 16 years, and I've been the president and CEO for the last 7.
For the last 7. God bless you. So what I'd like to do is to have you, because every summer we talk about there's nothing for the young people. There's nothing for the young people. You're clearly there. If 10,000 people applied to you, you are clearly there. So let's do this more consistent interviews so that people can know where to come. What are you doing next? You don't just have summer ready programs, correct?
Right. We have programs all year round.
Yep. So tell your people, please, that I'd love to talk to you at least once a quarter, so we can know what you're up to and so that folks know where to go.
It's a date. It's a date already done. I will come back anytime and share what's next and where they can get connected to services. Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you so much. You were wonderful. I could interview you all day because you were in and you were out. I have to end the show now, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and just make sure that we talk every quarter, okay? So we can
Will do.
All right, so that's workready.org for resources on how to get involved and how to apply. Thank you, Chakima, for more towns. It's Townsend. They have Town in, Lord's Townsend. It's all right.
My pleasure.
Have a good one. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so we had to do a little bit of adjustment there. We'll have Dr. Emparu on next Thursday. I wanted to do something before we got off the air. Michael, I don't know. And wait. That's Dr. Emparu. Father, open it up for me, please, quickly. Michael, let her in. Can you let her in, Michael? Let me just tell you how we have 5 minutes before the show is off the air. How are you, Dr. Emparu? I did know. Okay, so I don't know if I can do this. So this is my 29-year-old son. Today is his birthday. I wanted to show people so they could see who I talk about all the time.
Happy birthday!
One chocolate drop. He just got married last year, so that was him in his wedding suit. So happy birthday to my son. So listen, we literally 4 minutes, and I literally have to get off the air on time. So what updates do you have for us quickly? Let's talk about the Delta variant.
That's it. My plan for today was nothing but Delta, because I think the numbers don't. So at this point in the US, about 83% of new cases are from Delta. So it is a big deal. In the last 2 weeks, we've had an increase in rates, about 171%.
Oh my God.
In the last 2 weeks. Compared to the world, that's only 27%.
What?
Yes. So we are not doing well at all compared to the world. Death rates have gone up 42% in the US over the last 2 weeks. So this is a problem. Delta is a problem because it's very contagious. That's the main issue. And we have now found out that it carries a much higher viral load. So if you had like an infection with Alpha, which the regular one, or Delta, and we measured how much actual virus burden you have, Delta has been found to contain about 1,000-fold.
What?
So the question is now becoming, is it possible that because the load is so high, the 2-week quarantine may not be enough time anymore to get to? We don't know the answer to that. We do know that about 97% of people who've been infected are unvaccinated. So yes, some vaccinated people have been positive, but that's only 3%. And then of the vaccinated people, the vast majority are asymptomatic. They just happen to get tested for some reason, like they're traveling or things like that. They don't have symptoms. And the few people who have symptoms don't have serious symptoms. So you may recall that the point of the vaccine was to prevent serious illness, COVID. So even if you can get infected or have COVID, because people haven't been seriously sick who are vaccinated, and the vaccine still works. So 88%, but the vaccine doesn't work apparently as well against Delta. It's 88% efficacy with Pfizer, whereas for the Alpha, the first one, it was 94% efficacy.
Right. So it's low. The efficacy is lowering with the Delta variant. And for Moderna, what's the efficacy with it?
The study didn't do Moderna. So this is actually a New England Journal of Medicine study from yesterday. It just came out yesterday. It only did Pfizer in the US. It also did AstraZeneca, which we don't have, which we're not given in the US anyway. But it held true. So AstraZeneca was 67% protection versus 75. So the fact that Delta is more infectious is a big deal. And less than 50% of the US is fully vaccinated. And now it's summer, people are living their best lives and whatnot. So we are not out of the woods. People really need to get vaccinated. Your loved ones, not just yourself. You know, you gave it to someone. Some people are sick and are too sick to get the vaccine.
Right. I heard about that. Dr. Empara, I've got to end the show. I want to thank you so much, because even with the 2 minutes that you gave us, you're stunned. So I'm going to come by and see you shortly so we can talk. All right?
Nice. It would be nice to see you again.
Yes. All right. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Stay safe, everyone.
All right. We will. Bye-bye, Dr. Emparu. See how you end the show? Coming up next is Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro. I am Andrea Lawful Sanders. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.